Hello, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick, Crowy.
Hello.
Quiet, you. I'm here to tell everyone about Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's a Dungeons & Dragons-based strategy game from Codename Entertainment.
It's a management game with an emphasis on formation strategy, where you assemble parties of legendary heroes and send them on adventures through the Forgotten Realms.
Heroes? Crowy, don't you mean champions?
Players unlock legendary champions of the Forgotten Realms, like Dritz Duerden and the Companions of the Hall, Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga, and many more. Assemble the best adventuring party possible based on your formation options, champion abilities, and the obstacles and enemies you face.
Or just smash your mouse button repeatedly like I do and hope for the best.
Each champion has an incredible array of skills and items to let you customize your style and play even further.
Farther. Farther means more distant, further is figurative.
Well, I meant more distant, but figuratively.
That's forther.
Well, customize your style even further, because Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is available on all your favorite gaming platforms. Steam for PC and Mac, Web, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, iOS tablets, and Android devices.
Well, let me know when it comes to the BlackBerry. I'm not giving up that phone. It's the only keyboard I can use.
I hear it's coming to the smart fridge next spring.
Oh my god!
Oh!
What's up?
What happened?
I love it.
We were doing
The countdown.
We
The
were
countdown
doing
is
so
really on
good.
one.
This is why we can't have
She
nice
launched. The countdown was perfect, and then you just wow.
Yeah.
That was nerve-wracking.
Oh my god.
things. You know my favorite part about that? At no point did you mute the Zoom. We just got to have that slow motion.
That was the best part. We already have a highlight. We already have the
There it is.
game highlight
There
before
it
the
is.
game even began.
Nowhere to
Oh,
go
yeah.
but down now. We
Yep.
peaked. We peaked.
I mean, honestly, if anything, that brings the correct type of energy to the game.
Correct. Yes, I
Absolute
agree.
chaos.
Ah. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Gaxx Pack. I am your dungeon master.
Jonathan Gaxx.
What's that?
Is it Jonathan Gaxx?
Jonathan Gaxx.
Is I Professor Gaxx?
Right.
Oh boy.
This is
Oh boy.
Gaxx.
It's gonna
Daddy
be one of those-
Gaxx.
Yeah, they call me Xavier Gaxx.
Right.
And let me just hook this thing up to my head. All right. So we're an ongoing Dungeons and Dragons adventure brought to you by GaryCon, an annual game convention celebrating the life and works of Gary Gygax, the father of role-playing games and the co-creator of Dungeons and Dragons.
So he is Daddy Gaxx.
Our sponsors today are, of course, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. They're our sponsors. They're our friends. They're our buddies. Also, Warriors of Waterdeep, Dwarven Forge, and Norse Foundry Dice.
Look at that beautiful dice.
Anyway, let's introduce ourselves really quick. Let's go around in reverse alphabetical order today. Vivka, hi.
Hello.
Tell us about you and your character and what level you're playing and what we're doing.
I am Vivid Gax Vivka. I play Snacks, which is a 2.5 foot tall, 30-pound rabid lizard dog of a kobold barbarian. I look like this. Ha. But yeah, that's me. That's what I do here. That's why I'm here. I'm
Eric,
sorry, I'm not
somehow
awake
you're-
yet.
Hmm?
I'm not awake yet. Like I'm still. I am
Okay.
a night creature.
We'll wake you up. We will wake you up. Do not worry. Eric.
Also, can we talk about this level 5 hype train? Like,
We
They're
should.
going pretty hard
I was going to
already.
introduce everyone and then talk about fate points and hype trains, and you guys are killing us right now. With all we have 2 fate points on our way
Apparently,
to the
we didn't
third
know that
already.
Elisa sent out the song of their people, where there was the distress code that we didn't know. Subsonic broadcast.
You mean when she fell over, or
The mic, yeah.
oh yeah, okay, got it. Eric C. Campbell.
Hi, I'm Eric C. Gaxx, and my handle is at 16-bit Eric. I'm playing Leaf, the cleric of the Way of Peace and monk of the Way of Mercy. I'm full-blooded orc. I'm this dude. Oh no, God! The chair ate him.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
Mimic chair.
that's who I'm playing as I fix my camera here.
Awesome.
That's me. That's it.
B. Dave Walters, who I saw outside the other day we were in the same space outside.
What?
That is true. I have legs. People lose track of the fact that I have legs. Yes, it is I, Alabaster Gaxx of the Cleveland Gaxxes. I am playing the Nato, the reborn divination wizard grave cleric. And I'm happy to be back, I suppose.
You all heard it. Thanato said, "I am happy."
True.
So,
I also said, I suppose.
Always
Yeah.
smiling.
He's a grumpy boy.
There he is. And Elisa's coming to us from an undisclosed ship, I guess. You're
bunker.
at sea. Yeah, at a bunker. Okay, yeah.
I'm in a bunker. I joined a cult. But they let me play D&D on Saturdays and Sundays. So
Right,
it's not
as
too
long-
bad.
Yeah, you get a time off.
Yeah. I am Eliza P. Gaxx of the Traveling Gaxxes. I joined a cult called the Gaxx Pack. This is the cult. This is the cult that I'm talking about.
This is the cult.
And I play Javi, an Air Genasi Celestial Warrior. Warlock. I'm a little tired.
Warrior. I mean, a warlock
Today's
can be
day.
considered a warrior.
True. A magical
Certain
warrior.
circles. Yeah, warrior of magic.
Yeah.
And of course, Adriana.
Hello. Hi. My name is Adriana Cazador, or Adriosa online. I'm playing Grath, the Tiefling Horizon Walker Ranger, impromptu leader of the group, who is trying to make sure everyone's alive at the end of it and paid well as well. But yeah, that's me.
That's really the secret to D&D. Stay alive and get paid.
I mean, life really.
Secret to
Also
life.
life.
Yeah,
That's the
right,
secret
yeah.
to life.
Yeah.
Jason, that is late stage
Yeah.
capitalism.
It's true. That's also early stage capitalism.
Yeah, I think it's
Just capitalism.
anyway. All right, we're not going to go there. But where we are going to go is I'm going to talk to you about fate points. Okay, this is a way that you, as the audience, can participate with us and participate in the game. For every 3,000 bits donated, our party will get a fate point. What can they do with that fate point? Well, it goes into the fate point pool. What can they do with that? Well, they can take a fate point out of that pool from the shallow end, and they can use it to re-roll anything, but only once. But if they need to re-roll a skill check, if they need to re-roll an attack roll, even if they want to re-roll a damage roll, roll a couple of ones. That's always the worst when you're like, yeah, 2d6 damage, couple of ones. And what you can do is for every 3,000 bits that you donate, they'll get a fate point that will help them and will help them survive. So yeah, I think we're good.
Good meeting.
Yeah.
Good meeting.
Bird.
Good call.
Where we left off last time was you guys were wandering in the Yatil Mountains. You're on a mission right now for your boss, Ganzerg Gaxx. And he wants you to recover Dowd's Wondrous Lanthorn, which is inside the underground, not Undermountain itself, but
Oh,
under
God.
a mountain complex.
Plot twist. It's Under Mountain.
the lost hashtag Undermountain confirmed. The Lost Caverns of Sajkan, and where you guys are right now, I will send you your map just so everybody can see where you are.
Thank you.
And where the audience can see where you are too. You are currently on the southeast corner of that room. The blue is obviously water. You've successfully battled and destroyed a water elemental, and you now have a boat at your disposal if you choose to use it, or if you recall, just to the right of this room where you battled, which would be right, no, not there, here. You also still have the option of going north, and you battled a clay golem right here and took a nice long rest down that little cavern that seemed to be protected. So that's what you got.
Okay.
I've been told there was a new aquatic conveyance acquired.
I mean, you were
yes,
here the whole time.
It's
Honestly, I sort
I-
of zoned out. You know how they do that thing when I don't sleep, that I just sort of look off into the distance? I was kind of doing that for the last few minutes. I'm sort of a nap, you might say.
Donato, you need to eat. You need to eat more. You're not the same when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
hydrate.
Which, by the way, we're working towards.
Have a Snackers.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
we're working towards plugs here. Snickers.
Sorry, Leaf, you were saying something.
I was just Leaf just nods and goes, "It's understandable. Maybe we can catch you up." And I press the button.
Okay. There was a button that, so the boat that they discovered had a, when they lifted the plank underneath, they found a mast with a small sail attached and runes covering the mast, and a strange button that had a musical note on it. And when they touched the button,
I will say the moment that Donato noticed there's a musical note when Leaf is reaching for it, he's like, no, don't. And then it's too late and he's hit it.
I'm a boat. I got some crazy powers that you're gonna have to figure out. I'm a magic boat. I can take you anywhere you want to go. On water, I can comfortably seat 5 and shrink to 1/10 of my size. But you gotta know the magic word, and it's pretty hard to guess, or so I've heard. I'm a magic boat. You can order me to sail if you know how to do it. Yeah, I'm a boat. Come on, say the magic word. You know there's nothing to it. I could be your boat. And that's what happened. The boat sang to you.
So it's a magic boat, you see, and you have to guess the magic word.
Did you figure out the magic word?
No,
Not
maybe we
yet.
should play it again and look for clues.
It said it right in
Oh,
the
that's-
song. The magic word is pretty hard to guess.
Pretty hard to guess.
Pretty hard to guess. Pretty hard to guess.
Yeah,
Give it
you
a
said the
shot.
magic word
That's 4
is
words.
pretty hard to guess.
No, try
That's
it.
gotta be it.
Could try
Try it.
and command the vessel. Do it. Say that.
Mm-hmm.
Snacks, just very sure of herself, looks towards the mast and just.
Pretty hard to guess.
Nothing happens. The boat is motionless.
Okay, but for the record, Snacks, that was pretty brilliant, and it would
Excellent
not be
idea.
surprising if
Yes.
it worked.
Wonderful idea.
I
what
got-
language was it in? The inscriptions. What language was that again? Did anyone ever decipher?
Oh,
it?
there's inscriptions?
Yes.
Oh.
So there's inscriptions in another language.
In an ancient language that after you all rolled Arcana and History, none of you could decipher.
Yeah.
I just got a 21 for Arcana.
What's the
Still
Elvish
can't
word
decipher
for?
it.
It looks like wingdings.
If I could just do a short rest, I could then cast comprehend languages to see if maybe I could comprehend this language.
That seems like an excellent idea. I was going
Okay.
to try it myself, but can't do it so quickly. So please.
All right.
I have trouble reading things in Comic Sans.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should all rest after that water
Mm-hmm.
elemental fight. That was pretty intense.
Was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely spend some time getting back to my usual size.
As Snacks is still kind of like the pudgy, puffy, water absorbed version of herself. Like,
That's right. After battling the water elemental, you are full of water.
That was so brave of you, Snacks, facing that
Uh,
enemy. I know how
get all-
difficult it was for you.
I get almost nothing back on a short rest. Everything I do needs a long rest. So if we're gonna rest, do we just want to rest?
I think we should rest. Yeah.
Yeah,
long
I'm
rest.
down.
Okay.
Let's do.
Back to the little alcove of safety.
Yes.
Yeah, if you look back at map 10B, you can see you could probably nap in there again if you feel like it.
Okay.
All right, make sure to moor the boat before we turn back.
Mhm, yeah.
Mhm.
Grath definitely takes the rope and we beached it mostly. It's like mostly beach, but she's still going to like find some rock or something to tie it up to.
Can we bring it up to the opening of our little nap cave?
Yeah, you could. It's 14 feet long, 5 feet wide, but if you remember, Snacks was able to carry it,
No. She could have to
like
the entire
overhead,
time.
you know?
you
Yeah.
want me to take care of this thing?
Snacks, if you will, thank you.
Just full on body press.
So do you want to use that to sort of block the entrance to that little alcove, or what are you thinking?
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
put it in the alcove with you?
Wherever it's safest.
You know what? We'll put it in there and we're all gonna sleep in it.
Well, I mean, not all of us.
Maybe that's a bad idea, actually. Just kidding.
Yeah, it
just
may
there.
not actually fit in there. It's
on the
a
outside.
little
It's-
narrow.
Yeah, it could be at the doorway. It could be a door. If we stand it up unattended, is it tall enough? The ceiling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cavern is high enough at that point.
All right.
Or
Okie dokie.
So
You're
I just
taking a short rest?
long rest.
long rest.
Long.
rest. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Leaf had gotten smacked up, and I had used a lot of my key points.
Yeah, you guys did really get beat up. So,
All right,
you're
let
gonna
me
take
know. and
a
I'll
long
hit it.
rest. If Thanato could take make a perception check for me, since you're on.
I am. Ooh, got roll the same thing on both dice, and it's not the best. Dirty 20. I guess it's okay. Dirty 20.
20 is not bad. You definitely feel like you hear activity to the north. You hear movement. You hear what, in your experience, you may describe as something shuffling or slithering, but not necessarily coming towards you, but just way off to the north, farther up that longer hallway.
There are no positive slithers. Believe it or not, I'm still not gonna try and wake her up, but I'm just going to physically pick up Snacks. So I'm just like holding her, like what? I'm just like looking in that direction, because I'm gonna fastball special Snacks at this thing if I spot something in the night.
Okay.
But I'll just kind of keep my stand up and be ready, looking in that direction should it slither closer. But I'm gonna try and let them rest because I know everybody needs it. So
I'm just picturing Thanato like doing like the baby bop, like,
Oh yeah,
right, we're gonna
100%.
keep you sleeping
Ready.
until we need you. It's okay.
Yeah, 100%. You know,
Mhm.
cobalt drool, just the whole nine. Yeah, just the whole nine. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, so last game when I got soaked, lizards absorb water through their their skin, their scales, which is why I'm all puffy. But as you're bouncing me, I am diffusing that. So like
By wringing out snacks.
yeah, you're getting like there is just
Mm.
kind of like a slightly viscous like water spot that is like
Why does it?
happening.
Why does it smell like sriracha? Ah. Yeah.
No.
I'll press to digitate this later, but yes, unless I get some more evidence that like we're in direct danger, I don't wake them.
Okay, you do not.
But
You just feel like that there's something way to the north, shuffling or slithering, perhaps.
you know, there's a big distinction between a shuffle and a slither. But okay, yeah,
it's
Right.
it's many hundreds of feet
Right.
away.
something moving along the ground.
Maybe
I
you can
will say,
hear.
when they wake up, I will tell them what I heard and where it is, and you know roughly how long ago. But
Right.
again, unless there's imminent danger, I don't wake them.
Okay,
All right.
there is not. You might even, I would say this, you might even have heard a shuffle and a slither.
Oh, wait, I mean, are they electric sliding? And they,
Right.
right.
Let's do the time warp
Yeah.
again.
Someone
Yeah,
else
right.
heard the boat singing, and it's just like, oh,
That's
I
true.
got
It's
you.
like they're like to the left. Yeah, right. Then again, unless anything else happens, I do not until it's time to get up. Then I will tell everyone immediately what I heard and where it was. And perhaps it was both a shuffle and a slither. I don't know if that maybe something with a number of legs and a long tail, which is highly disconcerting.
Hmm.
That was to the north. Got it. Looks like all the water's flowing that way, anyways, in the other cavern.
Well, we have a boat. So, are we sailing? Are we walking?
Sailing.
Well, we still need to figure out the magic word.
Oh,
And I believe you might be able to assist us with this now, Javi.
Yes. I walk over to the boat, and I would like to cast Comprehend Languages. And
Great. Can you tell me, is it possible with comprehend languages to read the language but not necessarily know what language it is, or will that tell you what language it is also?
I think the first one you said, it says for the duration you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. So yeah, it's just about understanding, not knowing the language.
Okay. So you run your fingers along the mast on the strange runes, and you see it says to go, say go. To stop, say stop. To change, say my name.
To go, say go. To stop, say stop. To change, say my name. Say my name, say my name.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that. Yes.
See, I went to call me by your name, but that is more apropos, yeah.
Hey. And what, there's a rune on there, right? Or is
Well,
that
that was all written in runes, and
Oh,
then there
got
was
it.
that musical note
Uh-huh.
on the button.
My name.
Just to be sure, Snacks like looks around and kind of leans into the mask and is masked and just
My name.
Nothing
All right,
happens.
worth a check. Worth a check.
Absolutely worth a try.
That was such a good idea.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So we need
It sang in common, right?
It did. It sang in common.
A boat change.
Nothing.
Mr. Boat, Mrs. Boat, Ms. Boat.
Am a boat.
Lord boat, Dutch, Duke or Duchess boat.
I
Lord
am
boat.
a boat.
Lord
Am a boat. Change.
Boat more Gaxx.
Dr. Boat.
What
Are
was
there-
the language again?
I don't think we know.
I don't know what
It's
language
just
it is. I
runes?
just couldn't read it now. Yeah, it's
Right.
all in runes.
She's not sure what language it is. It's just the runes can be read at the moment.
Sir Botry the Third.
Are there any other writings or inscriptions on it anywhere?
Have we checked
No.
the bottom? Like the bottom?
I'll re-describe it to you. It's 14 feet long and 5 feet wide at the middle, and it's very tapered on each end. There's 3 oars. The third two oars are copies of each other, are the same, and then the third oar looks more almost like a rudder.
Interesting.
And we already said a magic boat as the name, right?
You know,
Give that a shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
We
ma-
also
I'm gonna
said
say
a
boat.
boat. Yeah.
I'm gonna say boat in Abyssal, in Infernal, and in Sylvan because those are the languages Grath knows. So I'm just gonna go down the list there.
Chat really wants its name to be Bodie McBoatface, and
I
I wish that it
know.
was, but it's not.
I mean, it is
know.
what you say it is, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Botalithmew.
Any of those boat names work?
Rune boat, magic boat, musical boat.
Well, either way, we should carry it back towards the water and be on our way, being vigilant for whatever we might have heard moving around up there.
Yeah,
We can at
let's
least
not take
go and stop. We know those 2 words.
Yeah, it should at
Well,
least
we should
function as a
test
boat.
them when it's back in the water to make sure.
Okay.
Snacks picks up the boat, and with every single step as she is walking it back towards the water, she's just like, going through everything like
Bodie McBoatface, rowboat, Paddington boat, Misha Boatin Coatin.
Then
None of them work. Dang it. Well,
Eye of the Boat Holder. That is my favorite one.
Good
that's a
band
good
name, though.
one. Oh my god.
Did anyone
the boat
talk to
holder.
boats? Does anyone have that skill? Maybe we just ask it its name.
They didn't teach me. My master never taught me how to speak to boats, sadly.
Yeah, I guess Grath is just kind of off to the side, muttering in Infernal, just
And-
towards the boat, like. Guys,
yeah, do any of you know the spell Speak with Boats?
No, they don't.
No
you
one
don't
took
learn how
that,
to
did you? See?
As a-
Technically, if you know speak with plants and speak with dead, you could talk to furniture. So
Well, anyone? I don't know.
Regardless, we can't stay here if there's some giant creature possibly slithering to the north. So are we ready to embark?
yeah, I thought we were already on the way.
Oh, we're already on the boat. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
We're heading that way.
Well, you're putting the boat back in the water, correct?
yeah.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's not.
Okay.
It's like maybe 30 feet to get it in there. So you
Who-
easily take the boat and you place it in the water, and it's now just sitting there,
All right.
floating nicely.
Stop. Okay.
We should
Anybody
probably
have experience?
we should probably get in it before we give the command.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in the middle. I'm just saying stop. Every few seconds. Stop. Stop. Okay, everyone, get in. Get in.
Okay. Yeah.
Getting in.
Who
Get
has the
in.
most experience here with boats? Who can, tend to the rudder and
Is there one of those little, I can't remember what they're called, but like the little standing areas at the top of the mast?
a crow's nest?
No, it's
Yeah, crow's
the
nest.
no, there's no crow's nest. It's a very. In fact, the boat only being 14 feet long, the mast and the sail are quite puzzling because there's a moving current here, but there's no wind strong enough.
Oh, can we open
No.
up the sail, see if the name might be on it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We unfurl the sails and
Yeah,
tie
it's
it.
got one sail in the middle.
Sail.
The mast turns over and the sail comes down. It's just a simple sail.
Okay, nothing written on it.
Nothing
Nothing
written.
written on the mast besides the stuff we already read.
Besides the stuff you already saw. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a thorough once over of the boat.
Okay.
I would like to do that too. Just kind of like the inside of the boat, look around for any sort of hidden compartments or something.
Is there a name carved on? You know how they put the name of boats up at the bow?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody inscribed like SS Minnow or something up there?
No, nothing up there.
Just
It
checking,
says
just
Podium
checking. I
McBoat
didn't think it was going to be that
things.
easy. but I
Pacific
figured
Princess. No. Nothing.
One part so she can get a full view of it, and one part to get away from the water as much as possible. Snacks does still climb up to the top of the mast and is just like clinging to the very top of the mast and looks down and gives the entire thing like an aerial view.
Okay.
We'll name it the Botany Bay.
I guess give me some perception and investigation checks, whichever is better for you.
Okay. Perception or investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
My perception is
Come on, Leaf.
Eight.
Yeah, Leaf.
Jeez.
I roll a 2. I'm back, baby.
It's an 18.
There we go.
11.
12.
That's an 8 for me.
8 for me too.
Okay, so like none of us who slept have woken up yet. The Nato's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The as you recall last week, you just with a nature check, a successful nature check that Grath made. The wood is made from an usk tree. It's exceptionally well seasoned and crafted so that it's as hard as bronze.
That has to be part of the name, right? Because there's literally no other clues we've gotten except for what the boat has told us.
Yeah, and I relay the fact it's an usk tree to everybody in case anyone knows really the region that it's come from.
Any chance that I could know what an usk tree is? Or something I could check to see if I know?
Probably, yeah. I would say history.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna cash in one of my knowledge of past lives here. See if I can chunk this up a bit. Which worked. So 23.
Wow.
Usk tree.
So usk trees are native to sorry, I saw something in chat. Elon Usk.
I know, I saw it.
Oh no.
You got me. You
Is
got
that
me.
insane?
All right. They're very thick, tall hardwoods with huge oblong leaves and an edible fruit much loved by most creatures. They're usually 8 to 9 feet in diameter, 50 to 60 feet tall. It's similar to a maple tree in shape, and its huge leaves are tough and flexible, so they can be used for many purposes. It's not a magical tree. It's just a tree that's common in the world of Greyhawk, which you are currently in.
So a local tree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we know it's a local tree, but this language does not seem in any way local.
No. It seems.
I speak common, primordial, and undercommon for the record. If we can start by process of elimination. There's not a lot of languages left between all of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all threw out what languages we knew last game. Like nothing ticked.
Nope.
Well, I go to that back prow one and sort of like push off. Like we'll go with the current then if we can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just tell it to go.
Yeah.
Well, does it go when we say go?
Go.
Yes, when Javi says go, it slowly starts to move without any of you having to row or doing anything.
Then
It's sort of going in the direction though that the boat was facing.
It responds to the common tongue. That's good to know.
What is your name, boat? Nothing.
Nothing.
That would have been great if that worked, though.
Shall we give you a name, boat?
Shall we christen
We
it?
get to name it?
Let's name
Well,
it.
no, it absolutely has a name. It's why it commands it to do things. It has a name.
But what if we gave it a new name and then that name would trump its old name?
And it's just another boat. Like, we really shouldn't give up on this figure out its name thing.
Yeah, let's try to figure it out at some point before
No one's
renaming it.
by any other name joke. I have to be the one to do it.
So you're
Yeah.
now
Okay. Sorry.
slowly moving towards the middle of that underground lake.
So we're in the middle.
Oh, do we want to go to the left or the right, by the way?
Remember, at any point, I can jump in and search along the bottom if need be, although there may be a problem if there's anything else down there.
The current might sweep you away, though. Let's try a rope, maybe first.
Well,
Yeah.
right now the boat is slowly moving into the middle of the lake, and you can choose where you want to go. You feel that if you let it just go where it goes, that it would probably either hit the wall or go in that middle area where the underground, the natural cave natural bridge is.
All right.
That's
Who's at the
Generally
rudder?
direction it's going, but one of you would need to grab the oar and steer it a little bit. So now, so you feel that you have the power now to steer it where it's going.
You know, I'll Graph will just be at the rudder, like at the end, just steering it with the rudder, like. Or, all right, everybody, where should we go? There's a few beaches I see to the right of the bridge. There's like a bigger beach, but that's to the north. But to the left of that bridge, there seems to be a smaller beach, not quite as to the north as the other.
I have a thought. What if, before we move from this lake area, we go back to the dock where we got the boat, and maybe Thanato, if you can get out and do a search to see if there's a name on the dock? There was a dock that the boat was like nestled in that we got it from.
Fine.
Okay. So we turn it around. We turn it around right to where we kind of discovered it first and where it was docked at.
Paddle over
Okay,
there.
yeah, that would be if you're looking at the map, that sort of, it would be the most northwest. It would be the most northwest one. So you see where that bridge is, and then it's the next one over,
I see.
Okay.
Oh, that's where we came from.
where there was a raised dock made of stone, flat, that the boat was actually sitting on top of.
Okay.
So
Wonderful idea, Javi.
as you're approaching, you feel the bottom of the boat scrape the bottom of the cave.
Oh.
Okay.
The water's less than 14 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess maybe around 14 feet deep if
When
it
you
doesn't
get
completely run aground.
noticed, the lake is very deep and it's very sheer, but they go way down. But when you get close to the coast, there, that's when you're starting to feel it scrape, and it's
Okay.
still moving.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop,
Yes,
stop.
Tell it to stop. Okay, we don't want to damage the God, what is it called? The
Boat?
bottom part.
Yeah.
Something. There's a word for the bottom part of a boat, and I feel like it's pointed, like it's made for big open water.
As soon as you say stop,
A bilge.
it stops.
A bilge is what that's called. And I looked it up, by the way. I did not know that immediately. Yep. Yep.
If you're talking
then
about if you're talking about the very bottom of the boat where
The
it's
hull.
scraping,
The hull. That's what it's called. It's called the hull.
well, the
the
whole
hull,
the whole
yeah.
outside.
The
of
hull
the
is
ship.
the
keel is like
outside.
you're talking about the bottom beam, like
Yeah.
keel. The
That's the
boat.
bilge or the keel.
Keel.
The,
Keel
the
is the very
lowest
bottom of the boat.
the
lowest
lowest part of a
keel is-
boat hull that is sometimes collects water is called a bilge.
Okay,
Yes,
so that's the inside part. That's the
Yeah.
inside. But the
Keel is
outside-
the very bottom.
But the outside, I think, is the keel. But
Groovy.
either way, that's what you felt scraping. As soon as you said stop,
Bottom
it
of the boat.
stopped, And what's very interesting about this is that the water is now flowing around you, but it's not like it stopped and it's now starting to drift. When you told it to stop, it's magically, you can only deduce that it magically is stopped.
Huh.
Oh, okay. We don't want to damage the bottom. Yeah.
It does come to a stop. It doesn't immediately stop on you, but it drifts to a stop. But then once it's stopped, you're fairly confident it's not going anywhere.
This water must be pretty shallow enough to wade in. I take an oar and just like test.
It's 14 feet deep if the boat hasn't capsized.
How deep is it here? Okay, well.
Yeah, you can touch the bottom with an oar. And when you go to the front part of the boat, you take the oar, you feel the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
And just start tying the rope around my waist. I'm like, is this where I'm supposed to go in to look under the dock?
Yes, Donato, if you will.
Into the water.
Okay.
Quickly grab the rope.
Yeah.
Didn't hand it to anybody.
You don't gotta breathe, so I guess it's not that big of a deal.
Yep, that's true. It's really more if something is waiting on me down here that's a problem. Yep.
Snacks is still at the very top of the mast, and she just watches this little dark figure just like in the water as he just like go down and just start walking over.
At that moment when you hit the water, you be surprised, Thanato?
Cannot, because of my
Not
shield.
be surprised. So, at that moment, not being surprised, you looked up, and what appears to be a stalactite is falling towards you.
Surprise!
There,
Like
my
from-
friends. I told you they were going to make
from
an
the-
appearance.
From the ceiling down into the
Damn.
water?
Yeah, like it was going to be jumping. It was going to be falling on you, and
I'm
you
sorry. I feel
moved
like
out
I
of the
did
way.
this.
But now here it is on the water.
I did this. I made a
Um,
joke about it last game, and I am so sorry.
Do I have a chance to react before it hits, or is it just gonna do its thing? I'm just not surprised.
It's it's going to do its thing, but you're not
Got it.
surprised.
Got it.
But it's coming at you.
My body's ready.
Yeah. As far as you know, just one though.
I mean,
Okay.
that's how it starts. As far as you know, always disconcerting.
Yeah,
Mm.
as far as you know.
Yeah.
hmm
And we see
Right.
this happening. We can't like hit it or something or blow it away with wind or.
No, it's dropping directly on him. And,
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like since the Nato
we
and
pull him
Snacks
back?
both can't be surprised, like just the both of us like look up and watch it, and we're both just in unison, like, oh no.
Yeah, just slow motion. Yeah, just the
Not
the
surprised,
Wile E.
can't do
Coyote bubble
anything, but
comes
just-
up. Yape. No.
But yeah, please roll for initiative for me then.
All right.
buddy.
I'm gonna roll for initiative, and then I have to do a quick. My poor dog.
Okay.
I have a pet emergency that I'm gonna have to take care of here, and so I'll step out for just 1 sec. I apologize,
Okay.
Poor Papa.
but I won't be gone
Emergency.
long. Oh, is that a? Oh, sweet, 17.
Dirty
The
20.
Oh my
19.
God.
Kind of stinky.
17. So I'll do my
Not a
first.
nine?
It sounds like I'm going first. So I'll do my round first.
No, you're
Ah,
going
that's
third.
Donato's
I'm going
first.
third.
No,
Go.
Snacks is even ahead of me.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Sorry,
Yep.
I have advantage.
Me too.
We're not surprised, but we
Got a
have
badass over
advantage.
here.
Yeah. We just have
That's,
that moment, Snacks. Just up from the water. That's like,
Wrath and Javi, what did you get?
I got a 6.
I got a 7.
Ha! High five.
Nice.
Cool. And your wow, the goblins got really your goblin friends.
Yeah, our
got
goblin friends.
really good. But
Which was an alternative name to Snacks Packs back when we were originally all playing goblins. This is all bullshit. by the way. I can't help it. I've had a lot of coffee. That's why I'm not tired and everyone else is suffering right now. I'm just like, it's the third cup.
the
This is my
Thanato,
third cup
it's dropping down on you and gets a 17 to hit.
Oh,
that is not enough. I feel like I see it coming and just shield over, just don't even move, like my physical shield, and just like we're
You sidestep out of the way, and okay.
However, what I know versus what the Nato knows is this clearly a creature, because it always could have just been a stalactite that just happened to break. So as it's here, do I see legs or a mouth? Like any reason to believe I'm under
mouth
attack?
and eye. It's hissing at you, and it's now floating on the water.
Yeah, well, this is unpleasant. Okay, got it. Okay,
It
yeah, we're all
calls your
clear.
name.
So it's on the water, but I'm in the water, or is it down in the water with me?
What I was going to explain to you is that once you jumped out, you took a couple of steps forward, and your feet are already on the ground underneath the water. So you're not floating underwater. You're actually, your feet are touching the floor.
Right, got it.
But it's floating in front of you. But the goblins actually, who got a natural 20 on their initiative.
Hey.
Go,
they
boys.
take out their
Goblin babies.
Goblins believe in no mercy.
It's true. They're learning.
And they start wailing away on it. And 2 out of the 3.
Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it?
Yeah. 2 out of the 3 get some pretty solid hits on it, but it's not dead yet. Snacks, it's your turn.
So seeing as how I am on top of the mast, like, can I get over there?
Yeah, I would think you would have, you're on top of the mast. It's to the right of the boat. You'd have to jump into the water.
I was already there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so Snack sees this and kind of like with her tiny little paws, like takes a moment to balance and actually stands up on the mast, takes Hacker out and just and tries to just Olympic level 3-point dive, with a twist and try to land on attacking. She's not good at that, but that's what she's going to try to do.
Okay.
All right, then I'm just going to roll to attack if there's nothing else.
No, I need you to make an acrobatics check though, because I want to make sure that you are going to get in the area that you want to be.
19.
Yeah. Got it.
Nice.
Before she jumped, she's like,
right, underground, no wind. Forgot. Okay.
And she makes the leap, the jump, the throw, and that is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Cool. And that would be, I forgot to rage because I was just so very excited to just do that jump. Yeah, can I still rage now? Like as I'm jumping?
It's a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like as I'm jumping, like as the wind is like whipping, through my scales and everything, like the tongue is flapping in the wind and it's like, and here we go. And I begin to rage and hit for 10 points of damage.
That would be enough to actually to kill it.
It just
yeah.
I look up, primed and ready for a second attack, and you can see in my wild eyes that I feel absolutely cheated.
From the 2 goblins already wailing away on it, you gave it the killing blow.
But is there more?
Poor little guy.
You do hear a shrieking coming from the top of the cave.
You hear that, Snacks? Those are the shrieking eels.
The freaking eel.
The shrieking eel.
How much does this stalactite creature piercer like weigh?
Probably like 50 pounds. It's kind of hefty.
I mean, probably less than a boat though, right?
She wants to know if she can yeet it at the ceiling. Let's just skip
there it is. Oh, is
Let's skip to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mad that she doesn't have a second thing to attack, she grabs the piercer thing and just yeets it towards wherever she was hearing the scream. Did I kill a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just turn around and there's Leaf just looking at his chest, just like.
Please make me an athletics check. If your idea was that you were trying to throw it towards the scream.
Yeah. I mean, the scream is at the top, right? It's not coming from
not directly overhead. Oh, Wiki says 500 pounds. What?
It weighs 500 pounds.
This is a baby one.
I mean, it could be a little one. So yeah, it's up to you. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one. I said this one was 50 pounds, so it's 50 pounds.
I mean, maybe I just take the tip.
The teenager.
You know, I did hit it, like other people were hitting it. Maybe I just take the tip. But yeah, that's a 20. That's a 23.
Just to see how
the athletics. So you throw the baby piercer in the direction of the shrieking that you think that you heard. And when you do that, with that 23, you're like Sandy Koufax or something, like you threw it perfectly, and you hear and see with your eagle eye vision that you hit another piercer, much larger piercer, and it actually falls into the underground lake.
Hit you with your own baby.
Are there more? We look up and there's more of these.
Well, when you look up, all you see, they're indistinguishable from regular stalactites. So if there are more, you don't know.
Okay.
The good news is you're now on the shore, where they get, where the cavern is like this over the lake, and when you're at the shore, the cave ceiling is a lot lower, and the stalactites are a lot smaller.
Okay.
So I am I am unsure if you're still in battle or whatnot. But if hypothetically we were seeing that thing fall, Snacks would leap at it.
Well, isn't it my turn now?
Gray area, like sure, yeah. I threw it.
Yeah, you're technically in combat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I threw it. That would be, I guess, the other action.
Seeing this thing and seeing her having knocked it down with apparently the body of its young or perhaps its mate, Thanato just looks at Snacks and goes, and summon the spiritual weapon, which is going to look like Snacks' face, just snarling at this thing. And that is a 22 to hit with the spiritual weapon.
Now, how much of a range does that have?
I thought it fell down. Did it not fall down?
It fell down, but it's on the surface of the lake, a little bit behind you. So it's not. You would have to move, and it's back on the surface of the lake a bit.
Well, spiritual weapon is 60 feet, but guiding bolt's 120. So you tell me how this is about to happen.
On the surface of the lake, it's definitely within 60 feet, or of course 120. So you can choose.
You know what? Since I'm gonna be moving slow under the water because I move slow at the best of times, I'm just gonna guiding bolt this thing because I'll make it easier for the next person. But I'm just gonna do a level 3 guiding bolt. So I'll 22 to hit though.
22.
So, all right.
This thing is much
just like underwater. I'm spitting and cursing in undercommon, but you can't hear it. That's going to be not bad. 24 points of damage. And the next person will have advantage.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
The piercer now lies motionless, floating on the lake. It is no longer moving.
Can I? Oh well, never mind. Well, are we out of combat now, or are we still potentially in combat still?
You appear to be out of combat at this point.
Okay.
Can I see Snacks from under the water?
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to know if I can hit them with message because I'm under the. Oh wait, we established I'm like
You're
chest
not under
deep
the
in
water. Yeah, your
right.
head is above. Yeah.
Right. I just look around and I look at Snacks. I'm like, see any more of those?
I think it would be at this time because I'm in the water too. And I figure I am absorbing water relatively quickly, and it is becoming, and I'm also very short. So it is becoming harder and harder for me to stay up because my little sponge body is getting filled with water and I'm like getting real heavy.
Oh, SpongeBob.
Negative. I can't really see much of anything.
Snacks, come back.
Yeah.
Get back on the boat.
I'm
Yeah.
also a
I
bad
wanna
swimmer.
I want to reach out an oar for Snacks to grab onto. Okay, I'll pull you back in to the boat.
Yay.
Well, I stay on mission, heading towards the dock to look under the dock and
Yeah.
inspect to see if there's any writing.
And we'll keep an eye out for more of those things.
Yeah. Grath has her bow at the ready and already an arrow notched and just waiting.
Snacks is basically like a full green jelly bean on the boat, and like a turtle, she's like on her back. She's using her eagle eyes to watch and look, but she can't do much else for a couple minutes.
Someone squeeze me.
I'm gonna come over and tickle you.
Oh, you're
It's actually terrible. I can't.
that does get rid of my rage though.
Oh no.
Well, we
I don't know.
what
Does
kind of
this count
stealth
as an
rage is.
attack? I don't know. It might keep rage going.
Yeah.
It depends. I'm not sure.
But I'm unable to attack back.
Well, Thanato, you walk over to the dock area, or really the shelf. It was like a stone shelf that was built, but clearly crafted in some sort. It's not a natural structure.
Mm-hmm.
But looking all around it, you see no writing or no sign of any sort of text or carving or anything to that nature.
Well, when I'm sure, I just walk back. Even if like I do, like my head goes under to the boat, it's like I just vanish until at the last second, just the rope goes taut and I come up. I'm like nothing.
Nothing?
Okay.
Nothing. Tra la la.
You said it's like a stone shelf.
Mm-hmm. That's where the boat was sitting. It was sitting up on the shelf to be pulled down for the boat to be used by whoever.
I'd like to hit a ritual detect magic.
Okay. When you do that, you notice that the boat, of course, is radiating magic. Specifically, it's radiating alteration and evocation.
Alteration and evocation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The evocation part's a little surprising.
yeah. Well, it said it could do things if you figured it out. So I just say, apparently, this vessel is not without defenses. But nothing from the shelf area from whence it came.
Nothing from the shelf area.
Yeah.
Right.
And we should probably get on with it then.
Let's press on. Good idea.
Yeah. Hopefully the name will just come to us as we're going forward.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
At
for
some
checking.
point, my pleasure.
Awesome.
Someone will be able to identify it eventually.
And it's possible that as we venture further in, we might find the previous owner somewhere.
Also true.
These are all good guesses.
That doesn't mean we have to give it back, right?
Absolutely not.
I hope not.
Just checking.
It shrinks
You
to 1/10.
all Well, if we can convince it to. Did you all want me to search more in the water, or are we going on to the beach?
I think we should just go onto that beach then. If
Yeah.
nothing will harm us, hopefully. I think there's a mouth to a cave around here, or like a tunnel around this area.
Is there any correlation between where we can go and where I heard the noises last night?
Where you heard the noises last night was on the other beach. So you've gone farther away from those noises.
Right.
Across the lake to this area that I'm about to give you. Let's see. Yes, 21B. Matt. So this is what you see.
Ooh.
Okay.
And we're
know-
roughly where here?
You're right there at the bottom right. That's where the shelf is, and where you just are disembarking from the boat.
Well, at the risk of being meta, we should. So wait, is the lake in the direction of the arrows or to the left?
The arrows are just the directions that you can go.
Right.
The lake is to the right, so you're now at the edge of the lake. The lake is to the bottom right, which is where you are. So the lake is now behind you, and you're now on that.
Oh, we're the other way. Oh, well, at the
Bottom right.
You've just now landed on the shore, right there at the bottom right of that map.
although I'm sure it's terrible, I still think we should probably investigate the dead end to the left. See what's over there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lanthorn ultimately will almost certainly be in an enclosed space of some kind.
True. Well, let's explore as much as we can safely, and hopefully we'll come across it at some point.
What you notice about this area, though, is that there's veins of crystalline minerals going up all over the walls and ceiling of the cave. And when I forget, do you have a light source right now? Do you still have that light on your book?
That's a good
I
question.
don't know if it's still lit, but I can very much easily light it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've taken a long rest since, so
Yeah. Even
I'll
just
also
even-
cast my mage armor again.
Okay. Good call. Even when you, with those of you with dark vision, you can tell that maybe if you did light something, that it may reflect off of these crystalline minerals that are running in this area of the cave. Some of them look very large and valuable. Were to chip them off, perhaps.
It's very tempting.
And so what those arrows represent on the map are, the one arrow is to cross the natural bridge to another area. And then if you were to get back in the boat, there is a, you can see from where you landed and from the bridge that an underground river runs that way.
Okay. Well, shall we see what's ahead of us to the left?
So really quick, so that there's all these like crystalline veins and everything. What's the ceiling like?
The ceiling has very small stalactites, maybe just a few inches long, but none of them look like they would come to life on you.
Max is still not sure. So as she is taking like a couple soggy steps, she's like,
Let that be a lesson to you.
You showed him. I light up the green flame blade on my sword to see just how much these crystals reflect the light.
They reflect quite a bit. In fact, the room now looks quite beautiful in multicolors.
Anything? Well, two questions. One, anything comes screaming and hissing when the lights come on?
Me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
honestly, kind of.
Go ahead, make me a perception check when that happens.
Okay. Like step one, I have that's a natural 20.
Whoa.
I don't know that this is the time I wanted to use it, but that's okay.
I know. There it goes.
26 to be really certain there's nothing. But yeah, 26.
You definitely feel like you hear some shuffling.
No.
That's my word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
There's some shuffling from the area across that natural bridge that may be shuffling towards you.
I say, I think we have company incoming. And then I already turned on the green flame blade. I just flick the switch for the plasma to start. It just like rotate around. However, one other question before something terrible is about to happen. Does there seem to be any correlation of the colors in this room and the statues in the first room? Like, are the colors the same, or is it just Roy G. Biv? Is it,
It's
anything?
very Roy G. Biv. I mean, it's
Okay,
there.
right.
There's every color under the rainbow that you can think of that's coming. You don't feel a correlation with the statues from the beginning.
Got it.
This is just like a natural, cool cave.
I will say, is we hear shuffling and very clearly getting ready to fight. I just turn and look at Leaf and I just say, I'm not unaware of the beauty of places like this,
Leave just nods slowly, understanding what you mean by that.
Otherwise, just get ready for whatever's about to come.
Yep.
At this point, you hear
If it starts singing, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
your
R.I.P.
footsteps
boat.
approaching, and you see 3 of those creatures. And Matt, sorry I didn't give you this picture ahead of time. I wasn't sure they were going to go here.
Oh,
You see
We don't
3 of
even
these
go
creatures
here.
approaching, but they're not hostile. They appear to be approaching slowly. They're
okay.
looking
So,
at.
so that hand is waving.
Not hostile.
I mean, I hate
Their
to
mouths are
judge-
closed. Their eyes are looking at you, and they
know,
actually speak in common to you.
if I will say this before we engage here, they look remarkably like a race that probably eats things that fall from the ceiling.
Aha.
It just, I mean, that's rough the time. I will say, when this thing seems like it's friendly, like my head just very slowly rotates towards Javi. Like,
They have 3 legs and 3
Look.
arms, 1 eye, and a mouth on the top of their head.
It seems like they're not charging us yet, so maybe.
And they speak. So they opened. Are they trying to talk to us now?
Yes. The first one
Lean
says,
in.
"You will pay tribute to pass."
Who's tribute? Why do we have to pay him?
I think we have. What tribute is it that you seek from us in order to pass?
Metals. Give us your metals.
I hit the button on the boat. I'm kidding.
You're too far away from the boat to hit the boat.
It was worth it to see your face just be like.
it turned
You're going to abuse that power. So
it turned
It's more
to
like an upbeat, folk song rather than some sort of metal.
I turn to Javi and I just say, in the midst of all that library training, was diplomacy one of them? Because the way I negotiate is rather final.
I mean, I can try my very best. I did have to deal with a lot of surly, bookish customers and patrons of the arts.
even
I
D&D
could
has
try.
its Karens.
I could try talking to them. Yes. I'd like to just take a step towards these creatures and say hello. So any particular types of metals and any more specifics you can give us?
Your weapons and armor will do nicely. And then the third
but
one
we-
actually, so they're 3 in a row, and the third one that's behind, from a little a few feet behind, one of his giant claws grabs a crystal off of the wall and just throws it right into his mouth and starts chewing it.
That looks delicious, sir.
Oh.
So we need our weapons and medals. Maybe you can let us pass for a smaller tribute of maybe, does anyone have any coins? That's metal.
Actually,
coins are good. We like
yes,
coins.
yes,
We like
yes.
metal more, but we do like coins too. Coin, and then the second one pipes up and says, "Coins are a little. I don't know. They don't really agree with me the same as metal does."
Look,
You're
we
looking for a
come
tasty
from
treat.
Mhm. We come from far, far away, where the coins that are crafted in our land are actually crafted from the most delectable of metals. And
Why don't we give you a sample and you can decide for yourselves?
yes,
Hmm.
and then
Lethal
let us
plot.
pass at the same time.
Also, and I cast thaumaturgy, so my voice gets 3 times louder in these caverns. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that the alternative is we will simply destroy you.
The third one who's chewing, he like spits. He does a spit take, and he's like, "Fat chance."
And that's not going to have to
Bipedal.
happen.
Oh, it won't
No,
come
no,
to
no, no,
that,
no, no.
will
We're
it,
not gonna- it's not gonna
gentle
come to that.
people?
Or
Right.
like glare daggers at the Nato.
I mean, it might come to that.
Look,
Snacks,
here's.
Snacks holds up the magic dagger that she has.
Did anyone even need this? Like, I could feed them this.
Oh,
Did
you
anyone
could feed
actually
them
want this?
That looks delicious. Yes, that's the most delicious metal, in fact, from
Oh,
our
look at this.
faraway land. So here, why don't you take this? However, the cooking instructions are you need to boil this for at least 24 hours before the flavors really come out of the
The
old.
first one puts his claw out.
No. First Passy, then
Yes.
Nibbles.
Yeah.
What? Huh? Yeah, gimme.
Well,
I'll
as
eat
long as
that.
you cook it for 24 hours first.
I don't need to cook that.
Okay, well, I see with your 3 fingers. Are you going to pinky promise that we can pass if you eat this?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, God.
You don't know what a promise is?
No,
Or-
that's not enough. You need to give us more than that.
Fine. Grath reaches into her
Actually,
pouch.
and I hold a hand up when Grath does this. I say, perhaps we can arrive at an exchange. The dagger, some coins, something else delectable, in exchange for passage and also information. We're looking for something and don't wish to spend the rest of our days wandering aimlessly down here.
Leaf will be nodding
Precisely.
while he's saying this.
First, give me things to eat, then I give information, maybe.
Can I'd like to, do I have insight? What's my insight? It's something. My persuasion is actually quite good, but I want to get a sense of if they are above board, if they actually are going to cooperate once we feed them.
Actually, pretty good insight.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever would like to.
That's a 23 on the insight.
There we go.
Yeah, can I?
Insight's wisdom base, yo.
You feel that you feel that this type of creature in general, it feels. You feel like if they were going to attack, they would have attacked already.
Sure.
So you
Well-
feel that they're trying to that they want to come to some sort of agreement. They don't
Not
want
to-
to fight necessarily.
Doesn't say anything to reveal this, but with the shield still up, I just turn off the sword and turn off the green flame blade. Like, is the only clue you all are gonna get. That I'm like, apparently this might work.
Okay, I noticed that, or I'd like to notice that, and I will say, how about this? We will, as my companions have said, we will give you some coins, a few small blades, but the most delectable, wonderful, high-quality things in exchange for information and passage, and we will be able to pass through whenever we need to as well. And I'd like to try to actually persuade them to make this deal with us.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna use a fate point.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this time to remind our audience about fate points. You can help our you can help our party. You can help our characters if they need
Oh
to
my
roll
Be
on
not
something.
bad.
I just
They
got
can-
2 8s in a row.
Oh, two.
Well,
I'm only gonna let you use it once, but for every
Well, okay.
3,000 bits that you donate, our players
Wait.
get to re-roll something if they so
Point of
choose.
clarification here. What is it that you're trying to do, Javi?
To like persuade them to take this deal.
I have foreseen this moment.
Oh, yes.
And it also gets an 8, but presumably with your is it 8 total even with your pluses?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'll cash in my 1 on this then. Oh, yes.
You don't. No, is that an 8 that you re-rolled after the long rest? Because
Oh,
should-
you're correct.
You did take a long
Let's
rest.
see.
Yeah, I
Let's see.
forgot to ask you about your portent.
Oh, well, the new portents are 2 and 18, so I'll cash in the 2.
Damn.
Well,
There
why
you
would
go.
you? But
18
you
for
want
me.
her to succeed.
No, I'm giving him the 2 in the counter roll. Or I guess I
see.
could, yeah. I guess I'll just give I'll make the math easy. I'll give her the 8. It's 18 on the die, so I don't know what it is after your
Plus
pluses.
4.
Yeah, so 22.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the first one says, "Give us." There's 5. Give us 500 coins and the dagger.
Okay.
And we will let you pass and give you some information.
That sounds like a deal.
Give them copper.
Shh. I was already planning on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Graf pulls out like the cheapest, the copper coins, 500. Ah, yes, these were always saved for very meticulous ceremonies.
We do not like to part with these coins, I will say. You really twisted our arms.
Brad, can you make me a deception check, please?
Oh no! Thank God for 8 points.
Son of a.
Oh heck yes! Hold on. All right, 17 plus. What's my deception? Okay, 18.
Okay. So how you guys have 500 copper pieces?
I mean, we've got
We
mad
have a
coins.
I know you do.
We have
Yeah,
a lot of
We-
friends
but
from
I don't
the-
know if we're carrying around the pennies.
Yeah, 500 copper is kind of that's tricky.
They want 500 physical coins.
We got.
I mean, we got a bag of holding. So.
I know I'm pretty sure we have 500 coins. I don't know about copper.
Got 10K. Oh man, I have
Yeah,
10K
we have a
gold.
lot.
But
We
I
have
don't
a
want to
lot.
part with that.
But
23 silver. Ooh, I don't see copper. Oh no.
we have 10K gold coins.
Oh no.
I mean,
Wait, if we got 10K, we can break them off 500.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
like if we can be honest here, we are fabulously wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, go ahead and use mine.
You found.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
Mine.
just when you
Gold.
when you went to that stone giant, the stone giant lair, I think you got and the wyverns. I think you
Yep.
got quite a few thousand.
lot of electrum.
Yes.
Yeah, we can give him 500 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Fine.
we can give him 500 gold and we won't feel that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, mark that down.
Oh, Grath feels it though.
I know.
I guess here you go.
Pretty good. Wait, give me that
You
dagger.
hand it over.
Give me that dagger.
Okay, so I will give you this dagger, but can I throw it up and you catch it?
Yeah, throw it right in. Throw it right in my
All
mouth.
right, all right. I kind of want to. All right.
And she just like throws it up.
And I mean, what's interesting is like their mouth is on the top of they don't really have a head. It's like if they had no head and it was just a mouth, he sort of waddles around and catches it. That was magical. It's a
Snacks is
magical meal.
the best use of that magic knife. Snacks is very happy.
That's true, really. Well, either way, you were going to feed it to something, right?
Hmm?
Okay, well, that's done.
All right.
How's your tummy? Is he feeling good?
Yeah, I guess.
So you'll grant us
Feels all right.
passage
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
and information, like you
And-
promised.
I mean, okay. Let's see. Information. This cave used to be Igwild's headquarters. There you go. That's some
No.
information.
What are the perilous paths that we should avoid that you and your people are well aware of?
I don't know.
Like, do you mean that this cave, like this specific one that we're in, is the headquarters, or all of them?
All
are
of
the
it.
headquarters?
But we just live in this area.
Let me
Eric,
ask you this. Where are the places that you don't go?
We pretty much don't go anywhere. We just stay
Okay.
here.
Eric wants to get in their face and be like, you guys are about 3 seconds away from becoming XP.
Same.
However, Leaf adopts a more relaxed stance and just says, So what has passed through here other than us? Any other people that have passed through here? That come underneath the
Every
mountain?
few years or so, we see people like you come through here. Sometimes we eat them. Sometimes we do a deal.
Which one of these caves or passages goes to a very steep drop?
I'm not sure. I think those rivers off to behind us, the rivers behind us may go off to a drop, but we pretty much live here. You can show you the rest of where we live if you want.
That-
Sure.
Start
That
walking off
sounds-
across the natural bridge. Follow me.
Snacks is running towards them.
Oh, by the way, so like right at your front door, we found this big boat. Did you eat the people who originally brought that boat? And if so, did they say a name of the boat before you ate them?
Oh, good idea. No, they didn't.
Good idea.
Wait, what is they
Such a good
didn't like? They
We
didn't
should have
arrive.
eaten
You
those- we
didn't
should
eat
have
them, or
eaten
they didn't
those
say something
people.
before you ate them.
Wait.
No, we should have eaten them. But no, I mean that boat has been here as long as we have. That boat has always been here. I think it used to belong to like other people.
Have you ever hit the button?
No.
You're missing.
No, it's all made of wood. I didn't know that there's a button. I mean, like, we like metals, so anything made of wood we just kind of ignore.
You should expand your horizon.
I mean, look at all these caverns that we've made. We dug all this ourselves. We just eat
Oh,
the
yeah.
minerals and just chill here.
All these caverns?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you look at 21A now, that's the rest of their domain.
What are you called?
We are, in your language, are called the Zorn.
It
Gotta
was
tip my hat to you for breaking out all the classics, though, Jason.
it was refreshing to resolve a conflict in an unusual way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really would like to eat that plate mail that you've got there, but
Well, I would
we
really
made
like.
a deal. We made a deal.
Yes.
We're cool. You're cool.
Yeah, because otherwise, honestly, Snacks would have eaten you. So I feel we're on a good place right now.
Maybe not, but
Well, yeah.
all right.
But so is this basically a dead end when they show us around? Like, I mean, are there no caves off of this to go further?
Yeah, what you've realized is that this seems to be, even though there's two shores, besides the river in the middle, which you could go through, you would have to get back on the boat and then take that river to the northwest. It appears that this is the entire Zorn domain, and you gather that they've not really ventured from there.
So, Ziggy, i- the other people that you ate, was there any like leftover stuff that wasn't
Yes.
metal that you just spun?
Right.
Maybe we could clean it out for you.
Garbage we could help you sort through, as it were, is.
Yeah.
I pretty much eat everything but metal.
It's also true.
Yeah, you can look over here, and then they take you to like one corner, and there's
Hey.
there's a that little corner in the top right. There's a pile of leather goods. They look very old and dusty, but broken pieces of belts and rope and some sort of leather armor with clearly Zorn teeth marks in them, and Zorn claws ripped them apart. Some tattered cloaks, a few things like that.
I hit the ritual detect magic. I'm like, just give me a moment to check with all of this and see if anything resonates.
Nothing's resonating.
Snacks is like, ooh, scraps. And she just dives in and starts digging through, seeing if anything is worth noting.
I mean, Snacks loves it, but it's all junk and trash.
Oh, okay. That leather
Yeah.
armor isn't like it's not like good leather armor.
No, it's like the leather armor is if it was good, it was good a long time ago, and it's got so many claw and teeth marks in it that it's tatters.
One last thing, though, are there any signs of patches, heraldry, anything of that matter, like any clue of who these people were?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and make me a history check.
That is a dirty 20.
Nice. You do notice that there is a piece of heraldry from Thornwood, from the Margrave that originally brought you to the edge of the mountains from hold on, sorry, from the town of Bissell, from the town of Bissell, the Margrave of Bissell. There's definitely markings of a Bissell flag.
I picked that up. Maybe when we go back, we could give them some closure on where some of their people might have ended up. So
Okay, great. And you know what? Now it's halfway through our episode. Now would be a great time to take a quick break
Okay.
before you decide what to do next. So we'll be right back in 10 minutes, guys.
Cool.
Working with Idle Champions has been so much fun because it's a different version of Archon. It's like a cartoon coloring book version of Archon, which is really, really fun. So seeing the artwork originally for Little Archon in the game, the way that he walks across the screen with his shield and he breathes fire, and then even the way that Chungo the Manticore comes down at different points. It's so much fun. I mean, you can only dream to have a character of yours then immortalized in that way and playable and unlockable in a video game. The Archon and Idle Champions currently is an earlier version of Archon, so a pre-Hand of Vecna Archon. How did Archon get the Hand of Vecna? Archon was sent out by Tiamat over the course of a decade to go and retrieve artifacts for her. So Tiamat would appear to Archon in dreams, and she would reveal to him the location of a great weapon that could help him, or a great suit of armor like the axe that he carries belonged to a general of Asmodeus and was buried inside of this tomb. And so Archon went on this adventure to find that axe of Asmodeus. And so Tiamat would appear to him in dreams, and she did the same to him in terms of this kind of extinction event that was potentially about to happen, where Vecna had teleported huge pieces of land from the Shadowfell and armies and animated this giant long dead titan and was inside of this mile-high structure, juggernaut, going to destroy everything in its path. And so Archon was sent there in order to stop Vecna from destroying the realm. Archon's entire party was killed, except for him. And he wound up using his charisma to become assimilated into another group that shared the same primary objective, which was to kill Vecna and destroy Vecna and stop Vecna from taking over the prime material plane. Now, what this party didn't know was that Archon had a secondary objective, which was to find out what was allowing Vecna to teleport cities and armies from other planes and bring that back. So during that battle, Archon survived, and towards the end realized that the power was coming from Vecna's hand. So when the battle was won, one of the members of this party that Archon joined was going to die. And so in this very vulnerable moment, the friends were gathered around as he was about to pass, and Archon pulled off this move in this very vulnerable moment. He used their vulnerability against them, and in a quiet moment led them to believe that he was sent to destroy the hand. And he had the power to do so in this axe. And when he raised his hand up and whispered a prayer to Tiamat, and everyone looked on, he swung the axe down, chopped his own arm off, replaced it with Vecna's hand, and teleported away. He teleported to Krull, who was waiting for him, who healed him from the battle and opened a door to Avernus, to where Archon went and then had an audience with Tiamat. Tiamat rose this giant tower of obsidian, volcanic rock out of hell, and this 9 layers tower with dragon heads around the top. Archon and Krull then sent for Toragar, and he met them there, and this army formed, this dragon army formed around Archon, who was this champion who had returned with what the dragon cult and the dragon armies believed was the actual cure for Tiamat's imprisonment, that finally someone was going to come along with the power to free her. But Archon needed time to figure out how to use the hand and how to unlock its power. And so he began this series of mental battles with Vecna, where they would meet on this ethereal plane and have these mental face-offs and these mental battles, in which Archon would try to understand Vecna's secrets while Vecna would try to gain control over Archon's mind. That's how Archon got the hand, and that's what he's doing with it now, and that's what he's up to when you as the player characters run into him. He is in the middle of this process trying to free Tiamat.
Waterdeep, the city of splendors, is peaceful at night. Old friends gather at the yawning portal and share stories about the threats to our city. Threats that never sleep. Waterdeep needs warriors. My name is Laeral Silverhand. I've summoned the greatest heroes in Faerun, the Warriors of Waterdeep.
Spurt, the kobold, briefly serving as the guide to the Mighty Nine, led them down a tunnel of the Underdark, and then, as the Mighty Nine were chit-chattering, kind of went off ahead on his own, and entered a big giant cave that had two fire giants. Now, Spurt is a CR 1/8 monster. Fire giants each are like a CR 9 monster. So he threw his bag of bees at one of them, and it did what you would expect a bag of bees to do. It just plopped down in this little bzzz, no effect whatsoever. And then one of the giants just smushed him. Spurt showed up for 15 minutes actually in an episode that was kind of very straight up to that point. So he was like this humorous interlude, I guess, for lack of a better term. So the fact that he was humorous, the fact that he wasn't live there for very long, so you only got to enjoy him for a brief period of time, I think that won a lot of people over. And then Chris Dupuis, one of the people who works on the creative side of Idle Champions, said, hey, this little guy, he's something. We can make something out of this. Do you mind if we take that ball and run with it? And then they made it. And then they had their little gifts that they did showing Spurt being smashed with the big hammer. And it's like, yes. Why do they fall in love with Spurt so much? Because he tries. You know, life has dealt him a cruel hand. He is a kobold who has never seen the light, and life down in the Underdark is a horror show for the most part. Yet, you know, he's managed to live 11 days and done pretty well for himself in that time. And he seems like an upright little guy. I think the fact that he's small, that he's unabashedly harmless, and that he's got all these fun little toys that can surprise and delight makes him an easy sell. There's just something kind of pathetic and likable about kobolds in general. Because they are on the absolute weakest spectrum of humanoid life. It's like you can't find a humanoid character really who's any weaker than a kobold. Weaker than a kobold would be a terrible insult.
Hello, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick.
And we're back. And thank you, Lauren Landa, for the raid. You raided us during the break, but we're back now.
Yeah, hello. Friend of all mankind.
Raids are always appreciated.
A hero and a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're now back in the cave of the Zorn. They have shown you their entire little Zorn complex there that they've dug out themselves. Another one grabs another crystal off of the wall and eats it while he's talking to you. So yeah, this is pretty much where we hang out.
Brilliant. Can you maybe answer one more question? Thank you. Wow, I'm glad you
Do you have something else we can eat?
Let's be honest, you haven't really given us any information. The deal was information, not questions answered. So
we need more information.
Listen, we're telling you everything that we know. All right.
Oh, really? Then do you know anything about any sort of giant slithering creatures?
I mean, they're I don't know. If they live across the lake, then probably not.
Can I roll to see if he's lying?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Insight.
Do an insight check. Oh no. I'm kind of angry that Grath is a little enraged. She spent so much gold on these rock eating.
We're watching
creatures.
jaw clenching take place for poor Grath.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 insight.
You feel like, he's just kind of being a jerk.
Yeah.
You're not sure.
We should set off, otherwise you all know what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
I looked at the group and I just say we could try one more method. And you see a crazy glint in Javi's eye that you have never seen before.
Yes, I want it.
you know, if we're about to walk away, we might as well try this one thing. And she turns, whips around at the Zorn, and you see her like eyes just turn really crazy and scary, and you see like a wind go through her hair, and she kind of like maybe levitates a little bit off the ground and just looks real scary for a second at the Zorn. You should tell us everything you know right now. And I'd like to roll for
I didn't know she could do
intimidation.
this. Did you guys know that she could do this? I didn't know she could do this.
What power is that, by the way?
Just intimidation. I don't have to levitate. I'm just for effect. I don't know.
Okay.
I just want to look scary.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Make me an.
I mean, I can
intimidation roll.
levitate actually. If you want me to pop that, I can pop a levitate.
Pop a levitate. Yeah.
Alright.
I'll give you a bonus to your. Let me know what you get on your intimidation roll, and I'll add a +2 bonus for levitation.
Ooh, okay. I got 15 total.
Okay.
+2 would be 17.
I just wanted to check, and I got a 2. I am very intimidated.
The first one's like, "Hey, listen, yeah, all right. I thought we did a fair deal. You're not asking the right questions."
Tell us without us having to ask questions. Just tell us.
Yes, you clearly have something you want to get off of your chest.
I mean, okay, so there's another. I know there's another level. I know that one of these rivers will take you to your certain doom, but I don't know which one. I just hear things across the lake, and like a couple people blathered some things right before we ate them. But where you are right now is our domain, and we don't really interact with too many others. Sometimes adventurers come over here and we eat them.
What was it that they blathered before you ate them?
Try to remember.
Yes,
It's in your best interest.
Okay.
The doom must not have been that certain, or they wouldn't have made it here to get eaten.
Well, right, exactly. So
proceed.
I don't know, like there's like a giant somewhere. I heard them talking about some there's a clay golem. I know there's that. And
Probably not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
there's like a staircase or something. That's it. I mean, that's all I know.
Javi will return to normal and stop levitating and say, "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you."
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Max-
so much.
Max is
Back to
playing
customer
the
service voice.
intimidated good cop to the like double team Grath and Eliza bad cop, and she just is like petting the back of one of his legs, like,
You did really good. You did a good job remembering all of that. Good job.
Thanks.
Grath turns to the group and is just like, I think we've got all the information we can out of these creatures.
Hey. Well, let's go then.
Thank you, Javi.
Really quick, Mr. Ziggy, sir.
It's Ziggle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ziggle Bartholomew III, of course. Professor.
No, I'm Ziggle. He's Zoppel, and he's Zorp.
Oh, of course. Professor,
their
doctor. Yes,
names.
of course. Would it be okay if I took one of those crystals just to remember you?
Okay, and he reaches up with his claw and grabs it, hands it to you.
Snacks is like turning it in her hand. You said it was like colorful, right?
I'm so tired of eating these things.
Snacks is turning this colorful crystal in her hand, and she walks over to Grath and looks up at her, and she's like,
Did you know that lizards' eyesight is actually incredibly well developed? A review of evidence shows that most lizards can see colors better than humans. and we can even see colors in very dim light, which is why I hate for it to be called eagle eye. I just have lizard eyes. Snacks facts.
You.
I look at them and I say, I'm going to do you all a favor, which is uncharacteristic. I explained to them all the way back, like everything we've cleared out, all the rooms that are safe. Like, if you wish to get around a bit, maybe see how the other half used to live, you can go that way. And I just tell them the places I know are safe if they want to get
really
out.
good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. You all should get out of your area more.
I mean, but we're surrounded by water.
There's been a
Tunnel
boat
more.
sitting here for who knows how long.
Do you want to ride?
Yeah, would you like to come with us?
But then we won't be able to get back.
well, we can take you back for the low fee of 500 shiny rocks.
No more deals.
Fine then.
Fair enough.
Good luck.
We
You
are
turn
not
and leave.
your friends.
Hey, stop for a moment. You see Thanato very much grips the hilt of his sword. It's like,
It's probably
Let's-
best that we go now.
go now.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well,
All right,
happy
so let's
metal
get back in
eating.
the boat.
Take care.
This is like, this just reminds me of that scene in No Country for Old Men where these people have no idea how close they came to being completely destroyed just now.
Yeah, it's coin toss. All you got to do
Yep.
is call it. Yep. Mhm.
Thanato is it's the coin toss scene with Thanato right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Keep that
As-
coin; it saved your life.
This
Yeah,
coin's
as
been traveling
everyone-
22 years to get here, and now it's
Yep.
here. Yes.
As
Great.
everyone is walking away and leaving the scene, like, Snacks turns around and waves and is like,
Have fun with your metal munching. Glad we didn't kill you.
Yet. And shove off.
Let's go.
So you're now, if you go back and look at the room 13 and 14 map that I gave you earlier. So if you recall, so you're now at the shore again. You're on the northwest, the most northwesterly shore is where your boat is. So you have every arrow on that on that map is a place where you can go with your boat.
Okay, so
And you now know that other shore connects. So that's Zorn Shore number 1, Zorn Shore number 2. There's
Right.
another shore, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 places, 4 rivers you could take.
So there's two northern rivers between the Zac. I keep wanting to say Zagdorn. That's Star Trek. Wrong thing. Between
Yep.
the
Zorn.
Zorn shores.
Mm-hmm.
There's the natural bridge one we could take, or the one that's further northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two things: a river down south. Well, two rivers down south,
2 rivers down south.
and a shore down south that we
Shore.
haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And apparently something terrible is across the river, and it also maybe plunges into darkness. And also maybe there's a clay golem somewhere near a staircase.
Oh, we took
Oh,
care
wait,
of the clay golem.
staircase.
Yeah, no, you killed that already.
Uh-huh. Was the
Oh.
They didn't
staircase
know that,
something-
though.
Right.
Have we seen the staircase, or is that?
Well, I was wondering, like, is it another staircase or is it the staircase that I had to run down?
That's a good question.
Oh.
Put ramps in their dungeons.
Yeah, far more accessible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we could just continue, and if we find stairs,
Yep.
although they didn't really say if the stairs were good or bad.
I reiterate, the doom's not so certain, or they wouldn't have made it back over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, didn't not the poem, but the note, the scrap that we received from our lizard folk friend, did it mention anything about that natural land bridge with the water and the plummeting to the doom?
Well, it did. Some of the people had fallen and couldn't come back. Like there was like a long drop or something they mentioned.
Yep.
Mhm.
Feel like,
But they didn't tell you which one it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that it's the one closest to the entrance to their little cave area. So if you look at the map, it's probably gonna be the left, the upper left water option. And I think that way may be where they're speaking of, with the danger. And the safe way must be over that way. And Grath gestures to on the top right part of the map, that little narrow channel going that way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wherever.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can always just say stop to the boat and it will stop, right? And also
Right. You say go and stop.
And it magically stops. It can stop anywhere. If we're plunging to our deaths, it could stop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be an yes.
Think.
I like that.
We should see if it's got seat belts or some sort. Just because the boat stops doesn't mean we will, but yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Snack belts.
So yeah, Snacks leaps back up on the boat and scuttles back up to the top of the mast, where, just to be sure, she takes a rope and ties it around her waist and ties it around the mast, but that's not really going to do anything because there's nothing really to catch it. So it's more for looks and an 8 intelligence, and I'm going to continue to use my eagle eye and watch wherever we're going.
Okay.
Okay, Snacks.
So you're now taking that far right river. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's go that way first.
Okay.
We can backtrack.
What'd you say?
Oh,
Last thing?
we could backtrack. Just in
Towards
case.
the slither? Ugh.
Oh, back to
You're
where the
right.
slithering and the shuffling?
Oh no. That is the direction of the slither.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We have
It's either slither or plummet to death. Oh geez.
I mean, so far back there, everything's tried to kill us. At least this way, those guys were kind of nice. Keep going.
Well, which way do you all think? To the left or the right? I'm thinking the right, but it's towards the slither sounds.
Leaf, who's been very quiet this entire time, just runs his hands over his bald head and just says, I'm so useless in these situations.
All right, we're going to go to the upper right, and I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace at the first sight or sound of any sort of slithering creatures. Yeah?
Wait, my friend. You are not useless in situations like this. It is intrinsically ridiculous. None of us have been here. We're on a semi-intelligent magic boat in an underground river leading to an unknown destination to recover a magic item lost centuries ago. You're doing great.
Perspective.
Put that on a pillow, please.
Yeah, just
That's a clip. Somebody needs to clip that for sure.
all the way across the pillow.
With the plate of food.
Yeah.
You're not useless.
Donato doesn't eat, but he's produced a charcuterie board inexplicably. Yeah.
You look up to the top of the mast where Snacks has a nice rosé. Just
Yeah. Right. I'm like, yes, but lead on. Any direction is good. Our only problem or mistake would be standing still.
Another pillow, perfect. The Thanato gems, just popping those out.
It's
Very
never
true.
wrong to go right.
and Snacks points left.
Your other right. Let's just go.
Let's go.
Go!
Let's do it.
Go.
I'm yelling go at the boat, I guess.
Go.
Okay. You say go, and the boat is now going
Turning.
back into the direction of the lake.
Okay. Turning it left
Paddle.
then.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Left
then
so that it goes to the right.
you're gonna shoot for that top right
I guess so.
river, right?
Unless...
Okay,
Yes.
no problem.
As we go by the beach, I want to look as hard as I can to see if I can see anything.
Well, going by that beach, you'll recall that that's part of the Zorn's area as well.
Well, there's the 2, and then there's the other one. Is the other one, is it the 3?
The other beach is to the south. You're not going to see that beach.
You mean the land bridge?
So the land bridge and the beach and the other beach, those are all one big Zorn area.
Okay, that's where I messed up. All right, this is why I don't look at the maps. Got it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that also makes sense. Yeah, Snacks has no idea, and she's still looking, being like,
Oh, what's down there? Oh, those guys look familiar. I can't believe there's so many Zorn over there. I wonder if those guys know the other guys.
All right. So you're gonna take that. The boat slowly starts going to the north as the walls get a little bit narrower here, and it's just wide enough for your boat to make it through. It meanders for about 100 feet or so, and you now come. It starts to open up, and right here, you now see a cavern, another cavern that opens up, and it's completely filled with water. There seems to be no way out other than the way that you entered. The water trickles out of the place through a very low cut in the west wall, and you can hear it falling some distance as it does so. The ceiling has beautiful stalactites coming down from it, and as in most of the other areas, the walls are streaked with multicolored rock formations, but it's of less intensity than when you were in the Zorn area.
I'd like to tell the boat to stop before we, like at the mouth of this cave, before we get into that center area.
It stops right there.
Okay.
I'd like to reiterate that Genzerg owes us a significant raise. We've been here for weeks and have no idea how much longer we're going to be here.
Well, how are we going to test these waters and see if there's anything? Or those stalactites might be more things trying to kill us.
Something?
No, maybe not yet. Not into the water.
I was about to say, I just tie off the rope and hand it to Snacks and like stand on the prow of the boat like I'm about to jump in again. Like, well, one way to find out.
Do we check this safely?
I jump in.
As he's jumping in, I would like to just look over the edge of the boat and see how deep it looks, if I can tell. And my book is lit, so I can see.
Oh, okay,
and
great.
as he jumps in, I do leap off the mast and grab that rope. Ooh.
It looks to be about 40 feet deep.
Pretty deep.
And so Thanato, what are you doing? You're just dropping to the bottom, or okay? Could you?
I guess I'm dropping 50 feet until the rope catches.
40.
Yeah.
Could you make me a perception check, please?
Excellent. That is going to be 23.
So as you're dropping to the bottom, about 15 feet down, you think you actually see some sort of humanoid creature suspended, floating 15 feet down in a fixed point. So as you're passing, you look up and you see this.
Can I still see the crew of the boat? Like, I don't know how dark the water is, like relative. Can I see my people?
How long is your dark vision? Or no, I mean you can look up and you see the light from Javi's book.
But can I see Javi, for instance?
No, I was looking over the edge.
You could maybe see her face looking down, but
I just want to hit her with message.
Okay.
There's something here. 15 feet down, a humanoid apparently floating somehow. I assume me being wrapped in plate, I keep sinking though, but
yeah,
I do try and give her that heads up.
You don't need to breathe, and you do not need to breathe, correct?
I don't need to breathe. Yep.
Okay.
Thanato's nickname is the Beat because whenever he drops, something's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do give that to Javi on the way there.
And I tell the others he saw a humanoid floating 15 feet down.
Wait, what?
Like dead,
Just
alive.
floating?
He didn't
Tied
say-
to
In an
the
ice
floor?
floor.
He
I
didn't
have
say just
questions.
floating. And we can't see that from where we are, huh?
If Snacks were to look over, she could see something with her eagle vision.
Yeah, what do you see, Snacks?
Something.
This looks like a roughly humanoid form.
Do I detect any movement from that
Not
person?
moving at all. It seems to be suspended there.
Can any of you detect undead?
Probably the anchor.
True, but I mean, I guess presumably, well, I mean, if it's only 40 feet and my dark vision is 60, theoretically, I can still communicate with them, right? I don't know how dark the water is. You tell me if I can or not.
You can. Yeah, I'll let you. I'll allow it.
Right. Then I will continue to message. Well, you know what? I know that I wasn't asked this, but realistically, I would have. So I'm gonna go eyes to the grave. Are there any undead within 60 feet?
No, there are not.
Okay.
I just message Javi. I don't detect any undead down here, and haven't been swallowed yet.
That's a good sign. Okay. Did you already do detect magic? I can't remember.
I did not hear. It would have only lasted 10 minutes, so I feel like it's would be gone by now.
I would like to, if possible, detect magic pointing down into the water. Or actually, well, it's a 30-foot radius, so let's just keep it at that. 30 feet around the boat.
You definitely detect magic coming from the figure.
Any particular type?
It's indeterminate.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Magical. Something magical, folks. Something magical.
We need to either avoid it or just investigate, but we have no
So
choice but to see what's going on there.
As Thanato is sinking and Snacks is like feeding the rope, she's like,
So did we figure out like a rope pull language system, or is he just going?
Oh,
You know,
I think he's just going.
I thought in my head that we probably have in my head, and I did this whole head canon on my own. We have a very elaborate system that I've assumed you've forgotten.
oh no, I remember my system.
So here's the thing. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Eric, you always think the worst.
Well,
Anytime I
because
say
every time like we're just having a conversation and the DM goes, "Okay, time for a saving throw." I'm like, "Crap, something is watching us." We have been like we've been in the spider's web the whole time. Like immediately, I go to this place. I'm like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, it's never save against super happy fun time. Yeah, that's
a
17, by the
My
way.
rolls today
17.
are such crap. How many fate points do we have?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I got 14, by the way.
We have 2 more fate points.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay.
I also got a 9.
I got a dirty 20 for Leaf.
Yeah, 17.
Can we?
If
can
you
we
want to
use-
take it, I'll take the 9.
Can we both use it or no? You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
if there's 2 fate points right now, you could both re-roll.
You take it.
yeah.
I'll take my 9. Like I'll take it.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Please don't give me another 9. Oh my god.
What'd you get?
No.
A 5.
All right. So,
Wow.
It's meant to
Javi,
be. It's fine.
Grath, and
Wait,
of course
Grath-
next.
Grath roll low too.
I got 14.
The 3 and B Dave, you got
17.
and Eric, you got a 20.
I got a
right?
20, a dirty 20.
So, Javi, Grath, and Snacks, you have the intense urge that you want to leave immediately, and you want to get the hell out of this cavern right now.
Did we just roll anxiety?
I mean,
we need to get out of here. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Pull the rope. Pull the rope.
I agree. We need to go,
Yeah.
but we can't
Snacks
leave
is
them.
holding the rope and just starts pulling it up.
Like, no, we have to go. We have to go.
Okay,
it's time to go.
Let's go.
I helped pull the
Grath is
rope.
trying to like pull against this feeling, but she's also pulling the rope too, pulling.
All right.
Not
Oh, if I feel myself getting real, no, something must be wrong up there. But I am gonna hit this floating figure with message.
Okay.
Which just allows me to talk to it. Yes, Leaf.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just like Leaf is confused and it's just like, wait, what is happening?
We have to get out of here, Leaf. It's terrible in here. It's awful.
We need to go.
And she starts yelling at the mast, like, go. We need to go.
As I'm getting reeled up, I hit this thing with message and I just say, are you all right? Do you require assistance?
No response.
Okay, so who's having like a fear surge right now?
Javi, Grath, and Snacks are all want to get the hell away right now.
Grath is looking at you like, why aren't you helping us? Like, what is going on with
They
you?
are frightened.
Leaf's brow furrows for a second, and he gently reaches out, and I'm going to just gently touch Grath on the shoulder and look her in the eyes, and he murmurs a prayer. As he's looking at her, he just murmurs a prayer to Eldath, and I'm going to cast protection from good and evil and good.
Okay.
Which targets also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Nice.
By aberration, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Certain types. Yeah. So he basically is just kind of like murmurs a prayer of calm, and I'll cast that to see if anything happens as he mutters the prayer.
Nothing appears to happen.
And Grath is still
doing?
Grath is still terrified.
Help us!
All three of them
Grab
are
the
terrified,
rope.
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
turning the
well-
boat now with my oar. Because it's Snack said go, so I presume the boat has started to move.
Yeah, I started shrieking, go.
Okay. On that, I mean, I look at Thanato and just I start trying to help with the rope. Leaf is just kind of confused and says, "Very well, if that's what you wish."
And so Thanato, you're still you're hanging on to the rope. The boat.
Yeah, they said they're reeling me in. So
You're basically underwater surfing it.
Oh, he's still under the wait. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Thanato
We're just
had gotten
dragging him against the bottom. He's hitting all the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he had been pulled back up. So then, yeah, I'll just help with the rope then.
Okay, great. That's fine. I don't need to make an athletics check. Once the boat gets about 30 feet back into the chamber, the river chamber leading away, and about 60 feet away from the middle of the cavern, your feeling of dread and fear starts to dissipate. You don't want to go back in there, but you're not panicked anymore.
do they get me out of the water?
At this point, you're back up and you're climbing back into the boat.
Like I immediately like spring up, like sword, shield. Like what happened? Are we under attack? What?
I'm not sure.
Oh, something spooked us. Sorry.
I haven't felt like that since grade school.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay?
What happened?
Snacks. Leaf, you were so calm.
That's me, though. What exactly? What did you all feel? Did something changed in all of you very dramatically suddenly?
It just felt terrible. It felt like we needed to leave there immediately.
It's like instead of getting full of water, I was full of no.
It was a hopeless feeling.
You didn't feel that?
No.
And nothing here either. I just saw that person. I even attempted to communicate with them. Nothing.
Did they look alive?
I guess now that I saw it coming and going, did I notice anything else about this?
Yes, it looked like, to the best of your ability, it looked like a large humanoid male with blue skin, sort of just suspended in mid-water. Like if the water wasn't there, you would have sworn that he was levitating or something. But he had blue skin, no shirt on, but some like brown pants. It bald head, and that's it.
I
With
relay
the-
all this.
With the no shirt and everything, was there any weapons?
No weapons as far as you could see, but it going up and down, it happened pretty fast. And there was almost like a shimmer around him, so it was, your view of him was somewhat distorted and skewed.
Beyond what I would have already anticipated the water to distort, like a...
Right. Yeah, like maybe there was a second sort of barrier, clear barrier, that was obscuring your vision of the creature even more.
I recount this.
Yes. And I, once you recount that, I also shared, I detected magic around that person.
The person was imbued.
And even though you're not frightened, Javi, Grath, and Snacks, you do not want to go back there. That part has not changed. It's not like it's rubbed off or you snapped out of something. You're just not immediately frightened, but you have no desire to go back there.
It seemed like a dead end, though.
It looked like a dead end, other than a very small, some water was running off down inside a little tiny waterfall, but it was a dead end for all intents and purposes.
I suppose we don't have to go back unless we don't find any other promising leads.
I really don't want to go back there. But something that powerfully protected by magic has got to be very important in our journey.
I just look at Leaf and I'm like, what do you think? Do we leave this person at peace, or do we assume that perhaps they're bound somehow and need assistance?
Just not enough information to make that call. It could be that we've stumbled upon something that is absolutely terrifying and should never be touched, or we've stumbled across something that's being protected by, we could have found a prisoner that needs to be let go. It's not enough. Hard to say. Like you said, of all the things we've encountered since we've been down here, it's hard to understand exactly what it is we just came across. Could be anything.
You said they only had to get 30 feet away from it?
60 feet.
60 feet.
It was 30 feet away, from 30 feet down the corridor and 60 feet away from the middle, from where the
person
was suspended. Yeah.
Look, it's not like the Lanthorn is going to be handed to us on a silver platter. We're gonna have to get it somehow through difficult means, most likely.
I'm trying to remember something the Zorn said about Igwild. This used to be Igwild's area. Was that correct? That the Zorn said?
This used to be Igwild's
headquarters,
really.
Is that Igwild, do you think?
You do know Igwild was a woman.
Yeah, not from my
Looks like a male to
understanding.
me.
Okay.
Yes, and also a human.
Okay. All right.
Max takes out a piece of parchment and writes on it, hope you're doing okay. I believe in you. You can get out of this on your own, smiley face, and folds it into a paper boat and just drops it in the water like, good luck.
Okay.
I do just say, if you all feel so strongly about it, we can just make a note of this place and come back later. Perhaps the enchantment will wear off with time.
Yeah. But if this isn't the waterfall of drop of death, then the other one must be.
Yes. Yes.
Did I notice the waterfall, the little like subtle waterfall in the corner at all, or no?
It was so subtle. It was only like a few inches wide. It was just something of note.
Almost like a drain. It sounds
Yeah, like a drain.
Exactly. It was like drain.
This is a giant jacuzzi. Cursed jacuzzi. Okay.
Magical prison jacuzzi.
A Twitch streamer emerges.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Well, I guess we can try the other way, and the boat hopefully will stop when we tell it to. But to change, why would we ever want to change the boat? I've been pondering that.
Oh,
Well, to carry it away from the water. Yeah.
yeah, that was in the song.
Oh,
that actually was in the song. It gets really small. Do you want to hear it?
A tenth.
Do you, you want the song?
A tenth of a size.
Let's press the button again.
Press the button, Frank.
I'm like, is that supposed to ease your fear to hearing the boat song again? I want to know where the cannons on it are located.
Everything is worth it to see that.
I'm trying to help you, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's not a very long song.
I pressed the button.
I feel like I'm doing all of this to like try and like play zone defense on Snacks and have it just pow.
All right, echoing through the cavern, emanating from the mast of the boat, you hear. Hi, I'm a boat. I got some crazy powers that you're gonna have to figure out. I'm a magic boat. I can take you anywhere you wanna go. On water, I can comfortably seat 5 and shrink to 1/10 of my size. But you gotta know the magic word, and it's pretty hard to guess, or so I've heard. I'm a magic boat. You can order me to sail if you know how to do it. Yeah, I'm a boat. Come on, say the magic word. You know there's nothing to it. I could be your boat.
First of all, dear friends, I want you to know I rapidly tried to transcribe that and it's filled with typos and text errors. Also, I just look at the boat and I just say, you know, there's nothing to it.
Nothing happens.
Damn.
Yep.
All right, I pressed the button.
Actually, it's 1/10.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. 1/10 my size. Yep. All right.
No,
well
there's
then.
nothing to it.
It's pretty hard to guess, or so I've heard.
Plus, you all are in the boat right now. You might not want it to shrink to 1/10 of its size.
True.
Yeah, but we could unshrink it theoretically if we knew. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how the guns work. Yeah.
Yeah, the magical powers. There might be other magical powers too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, they just set out then. Yeah.
Let's just get away from floaty McFloat bags and go down a different like hallway or something.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
try
and
the other one.
you're now back. It's taking you back to the lake, the underground lake. So you still have many other choices, many other ways you can go.
So weird.
I did just think of something, but for later, if we ever figure this out, or if we're not enchanted by the scary scaries, that little drain thing and shrinking to 1/10 of its size.
We're gonna go just full inner space, ride the boat down. But the rest of the, but the rest of you need to breathe though. There's that little chestnut.
My
Also,
movie
do
references
we
are going
shrink in
straight
the
to
boat?
like
What's it?
I'm worried that that's Jason Voorhees chained up down there. Floating
Also,
in the calm.
it's very interesting that you internalized it that we all go 1/10 of our size, because I internalized it that it's just the boat.
That's what. Yes,
Yeah,
that was a big question
no.
for me too.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Maybe it
We don't
does
know.
Yeah,
shrink.
there is. I mean, Leaf doesn't know this, but there is a magical item that lets you basically just. It's based off of Norse mythology. Lets you just fold the boat up and put it into a pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Just we head over.
Note. Head over.
Okay.
Head over to the other one, hugging the right.
Leaf is going to keep looking back over his shoulder because he's just so bewildered by the encounter of the strange being floating in the water column, and then the fear effect that took place in his party. Just constantly looking back over his shoulder, trying to understand that.
Okay. So you're now going to take the next path, the one that goes underneath the natural bridge, correct?
Yeah. Do we have to dismantle the?
Very
map?
wary of what's under the bridge, keeping an eye out for grumpy old trolls, stalactites, spiders.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, at the moment that you go underneath the bridge, actually Ziggle is on top of it, and he's like, "Hey, bring me back any more metal that you find."
Because Snacks is on the top of the mast again, like as they are two ships passing the night. She's like,
Oh, by the way, around there, there's some guy that's like floating in the water. It's really scary. Don't go there. Hey, bye.
Or go there.
What? Does he have any metal?
Maybe. Yeah, he totally does. Go get him.
Okay. Well, maybe we can dig there. All right. Something to think about. Bye.
As we're sailing by, I do just say, do you know anything about a trapped blue-skinned man in the water back there in a drain?
No, that's weird. Sorry.
Something tells me these ground-dwelling, tunneling creatures are not going to be really swimming around the Nato. But it was worth an ask.
Well,
When we get to water, we usually stop digging.
Duly
That's the
noted.
last thing Ziggle says. Okay. So now you are coming to another open cavern area. But this time,
Just so we're clear, I still may eradicate those creatures before we leave. Everyone knows that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to, but I mean, it is still on the table.
We see the struggle and we appreciate it.
so as the boat rounds the curve a little bit on that particular path, you see a little island about 40 feet away. Where
Stop.
if you're going to do the same procedure as you did last time and stop before you get to the opening of the cavern, that's what you see.
Yeah, I think we'll stop at the cavern.
Could you make me a perception check, please?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Even with advantage, I rolled a 2 and a 5, so I'm leaning on Snacks this time.
Oh
I'm still looking back at the Zorn like
The fate points.
What?
I got a 7.
Oh god.
Oh no. I got 19.
I got a natural 1. Oh, I've never rolled this poorly in my life.
We're all gonna die.
It's your dice are jet lagged.
I don't even
Yes.
remember what I rolled. It was just bad, and my brain was like, "You don't need that information."
Leave. You notice that the water surrounding the island is particularly dark, and there seem to be some sort of particles suspended in it, making it look so dark.
Particles?
Inky.
So there's like a cloudy nature to it then?
Yeah, there's like a dark inkish nature.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone to be very still, and Leaf just says, "Everyone, be still for a moment and slowly look down at the water. Do not make a lot of movement.
But you want us to move?
Our eyes.
Yes, look down, but do not make a lot of movement.
You feel like you can only see about 5 feet into the water before the inkiness just makes it really dark, and you can't see any further than that.
How do we get to this island without disturbing the water above?
What is that leaf? Do you know?
No, except that. Can I roll a nature check?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to.
Grath would probably be the ideal person to roll this.
I'm thinking like some sort of like octopus or.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first instinct, but I'd like to investigate further with my.
Yeah, this is all on the ranger.
The
But Leaf. Is
I just look at them like.
Donato, please, not this time.
I point to Thanato. It's particles, man. Particle man. They do the things that particles can. I mean, what's it like? It's not important. Particle man.
I'm not nobody's worried about Particle Man. It's Triangle Man that you should fear.
True.
Ooh, I got 23, by the way.
They hate each other, though. I hear that.
That is true. I mean, but if they get in a fight, Triangle wins. So what difference does it make?
Triangle Man. Yeah.
It's a deep cut, 90s kids.
Yeah.
You probably remember from the Animaniacs, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a 23, and you are. What are you doing exactly? You are investigating.
So I guess, I dip an oar into the water, I guess, and just kind of like analyze the water and look into the darkness.
It doesn't. You're not. It doesn't. It
smell
doesn't.
it.
Yeah. It doesn't appear to be natural in nature. It smells really bad.
Oh boy. So that could be anything.
Correct.
This
seems like a good time to go ahead and hit that old Eyes of the Grave. Do I detect any undead?
You do detect undead.
Oh boy. We're
I tell him that. I'm like, there's undeath about. I know the location. I don't know what they are, but I know where it is.
How big of a range is it?
60 feet.
So you feel that there may be 6 creatures all along the edges of the cavern. In the water.
I just kind of silently hold up and point them out, basically, where they are in the cavern.
Oh no, it's particle men.
When we're sadly lacking in triangle persons.
6.
Quote of the game.
Okay, all right. 6.
6.
Undead creatures of the dark versus that one in the other cave.
Possible.
We're not going
again,
to that other
to
cave.
be clear, there is a way through this cave, right?
Oh.
No, it ends.
Oh, it's a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I tell the boat to stop.
Okay, I think that was already established that you are stopped at the mouth of that cavern.
Oh,
okay.
Start trying to turn this batch around.
What could they be guarding though? There's an island in the middle of all of them.
I mean, I'm willing to check it out.
From the top of the mast, I tried to look on the island. Do I see anything?
On the island itself, yes, you see something sparkling and scattered over the island. And with your eagle vision, they look like tiny little gems are scattered all over that entire island.
Okay.
I whisper this to the group.
It's like gem confetti over there. gemfetti.
If that's all it is, do we care?
I don't know that simple riches are worth the risk.
There's got to be something else on there. I mean, we've seen
does
gems
there?
and we've already seen like crystals just scattered in the other parts of this cavern. Maybe there's something buried on that island.
Maybe it's the what are we looking for? Not the Horn of Igwald.
The lanthorn.
The lanthorn. Maybe it's the lanthorn.
Could it be the wondrous lanthorn in there?
From what I understand, the lanthorn is supposed to be pretty big, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm fine
Buried.
plunging headlong. Worst case, we'll simply destroy the creatures.
Oh, I'd like to cast Detect Magic towards the well, I guess as far as 30 feet can get me.
You don't detect any. Oh wait, hold on. Do you? 1 second. You don't detect any magic from the spot that you're in.
I think we would have to be in closer. So what are we thinking?
There
Okay,
was
so-
one last snacks.
Well, it's like there's the place that we're not gonna go with the guy. This place, all of this, and then there's like Slither Bob, like down south.
I mean, we can't turn back every time there's something dangerous, or we'll never escape this place.
But we also see that this is a dead end.
Literally.
Yeah. So you want to go get Slither Bob?
Slither Bob?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
the slithering noises. Right.
There was one more channel, I guess, one more tunnel of water we could check out.
Yeah.
To the southwest of that main pool area with all the different paths. We can try that, team.
Tell me more about your path of the grave. How often is it like a flashpoint, like an imprint, or like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like radar. As is an action, you know the location of any undead within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover and isn't protected from divination magic until the end of your next turn. So I guess technically if we're out of combat, that's only a couple of seconds, but I do have a range of time in which I am aware of where things are. Yes.
Okay, because they are now approaching the boat.
Oh,
They're heading our
like
way.
this is like Alien. We've got like our motion tracker, and we can hear that. Yeah.
Make sure to check those corners.
So
so the rest of you see the water slowly rippling. You don't see what's approaching yet. Thanato knows that they are undead and that they are coming closer, but because of the inky, stenchy stuff on the water, you can't see through it, and you don't know what's coming.
How far away ahead is the island?
The island is about each one of those squares is 10 feet. So the island's like 30 feet, 40 feet, depending on where you're.
I tell the boat to go forward. I say, we're about to fight, and if they start climbing up, they might capsize us. At least we can fight on solid land.
I'm gonna use at this point. I'm gonna use emboldening bond. So I'm gonna pick 3 of you within 30 feet of me right now. Leaf is gonna just utter a prayer. I'm gonna pick the people that are probably gonna need a little more help if we get into a melee fight. So I'm gonna pick. I'll do Javi and then Thanato and Grath. Okay. And so the 3 of you, as Leaf just kind of, he focuses for a minute as this is starting to happen, and he literally does the Om that he does, kind of just like as he meditates and he puts his hands up and starts focusing. You're all basically for the next 10 minutes, as long as you're within 30 feet of each other, you have a bless spell every round. You can roll a D4 and add it to an attack, ability check, or a saving throw for the next 10 minutes.
Dope. Yeah, I tell the boat to charge, by the way, towards the island. We're going to fight. We're going to fight over there.
Okay. The boat goes straight into the island, and you can now jump off of it. You notice with your
everybody up.
radar that they're getting even closer, and they're now approaching the island.
Oh,
I tell them that I'm like, they're coming from all sides. Prepare yourselves.
I want to
As
like
soon-
look for tracks or anything on this island before we have to, step all over it. I want to look to see if anything has stepped on this island, what it is.
From your view in the boat, no, you just sort of see gems scattered everywhere.
Oh, I want to jump onto the island and do it.
Okay, so when you jump onto the island, you hear a great voice yell out, "Fools! You are in a dead end! Flee back to the south and take the way the water enters, or stay here and die! You were stupid to enter at all, so you will probably stay here. A deserved fate for meddling mortals!"
Wait, I'm kidding. Are you trying to help us or insult us? I'm not.
And rising out of the water, you see 6 pale blue humanoid creatures with long tongues wagging and lashing. And now let's roll for initiative.
Well, could I make a request? Can we stay in the previous initiative? Because like half the group didn't get to do anything. So at least this way, everyone's guaranteed to do a thing.
Oh, you mean just yeah, sure. Okay, so that would make like,
because I went last time, so
Leaf,
whoever
Grath, and Javi first.
Yeah, because Snacks and I already did a thing. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Cool.
And we won't have to roll, and we'll just go.
I'm rolling real bad today, so this is helpful.
Ah, jeez. I got 11.
You got 2 more fate points with your name on it.
yeah. I mean, you don't
But
have
you don't
to
have to roll
re-roll.
now. We're good.
Yeah,
We're
you-
gonna keep that order. We're just gonna we're just gonna flip it.
Okay.
But I will roll for the goblins. Pretty good.
Okay.
I'm wondering if Hand of Healing works on undead the way.
Oh, I hope it does.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Just grab them by the face and just like.
Should I touch the inky stinky?
That's a negatory. I will just ask while we're all queuing everything up. Do these creatures look like the one I saw in the water?
They
You
don't.
said
They
blue
actually
skin,
don't.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
the
All
other
right.
one had much darker blue skin.
Got it.
They look like. I will show you what they look like.
I'm surrounded by fear and dead men. One of my all-time favorite Vader things there. Yeah.
There we go. That's what they look like.
Oh,
Looking. Let's see what we got.
No, sir. I don't like it.
Oh.
I do like all of
that
this
looks
like
a
modern art of the OG monsters, though. It's interesting.
dude. If that's what I think it is.
It's all right. It's about to get rolled up. So whose turn is it then? Who was after me in the initiative?
It's me. I'm just trying to figure out if Healing Hand works like. I'm trying to figure out if throwing down Healing Hand is going to work like basically popping off a cure spell on undead. Do you know what I mean?
No, 5e. It's just not like that anymore.
That's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. In the
Where the
old
healing
days,
automatically
back in
hurts
the
you.
old days.
Yeah. Back in my day. Yeah.
And I don't do
Back in
radiant
my
damage, so
day.
this isn't going to help. All right. In which case, I'm not going to bother with the necromancy. Okay. Leaf is going to pop up there then. Yeah, I'll step up to one of these things.
Okay.
And Leaf is going to yeah, I'm gonna try it. Leaf's gonna basically two-hand his quarterstaff, just holds it up Donatello style, and he's gonna sweep in there and starts wailing on these guys. So I'll just pick the nearest one as it's emerging from the water. And Leaf will dash forward and initiate face to fist style. All right. Let's see. First roll to attack is an 11 plus 7. It's an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Second attack is an 8 plus 7. That's a 15 to hit.
That will also hit.
Okay. And then I'm going to spend a point of key. And I'm going to initiate Flurry of Blows. So let's roll that. And so the third hit rather is a 12. So that's a 19 to hit.
That will also hit.
Okay, and then the last one, 18. So I'm gonna guess that hits. I hit all 4 times.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna spend 1 more point of key just to keep this going and use and oh wait, I can't because I did flurry of blows. Never mind. I keep forgetting that. I cannot do that. Okay, so I went full offense. All right, so let's roll some damage here.
Give me some damage.
All right, so the first one, 9 plus 10, so 19.
Okay.
And then max damage, so another 10, so 29.
Okay.
Plus 9 more. So there you have it. Over
with your first attack on the very first undead creature that emerges from the water, you manage to just pummel it into pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of like whipping sounds of the wood just crashing through the air, just bam, 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 bam. Sweeps its legs out from underneath it and then brings like the entire bow staff down on top of it and crushes its sternum.
You thought you heard Thanato go sweep the leg when you did that.
Yeah.
And I did. I was thinking
Got a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah.
All right. That's my action.
Grath, Grath, there's now 5 left.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, then the one nearest to the boat, I'm going to actually, can I jump back onto the boat and up the mast? That will be
that would be your whole action, I would say.
Okay. Then I'm going to just stand my ground and aim.
You could jump into the boat. You could jump back into the boat, but I wouldn't let you jump into the boat and go up the mast and attack.
Grath just takes off in the boat.
Can I jump back in the boat?
Deuces, bitches. Yeah.
I'll stand with everyone else actually, and I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the one nearest to like our group, I guess. Like the next one, lurching its way over, and oh my god, I keep dropping my d20. Oh my god. There we go. All right. Oh hell yes. 26 to hit with the first arrow. So she launches the first arrow towards the one that's just nearest to us. For how much damage? Let's see, 9 plus 4. So 13 damage for the first arrow.
Okay.
And see if it hits the next one. Oh god. All right. Well, 2, yeah. 11 to hit.
11?
Yeah.
That misses.
Well,
that fate points.
Fate point.
You know what? Fate point, because this thing has been damaged and I can do whatever. Fate point. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the fate points, y'all. That is a lot better. Once again, 26.
That'll hit
this time with the second arrow. And what am I missing here? There's like a, you know what? Can I use sharpshooter? Yeah, sharpshooter.
I mean, retroactively, I wouldn't necessarily.
Okay, then
right now,
okay.
I will. It's fine.
That's what I was like. Yeah. Was it Colossus Slayer or sharpshooter? I think
sharpshooter. I think you have to declare it ahead of time, but.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay.
Then that's
I'll let you use it.
Oh, thank you. All right, that's the one I meant to use. So -5 to the hit. So it was actually 21 to hit,
still
but
hits.
plus 10 damage, I believe. So rolling the damage for that. I think I already just roll it? I don't remember. I'm sorry. So the damage plus like Hunter's Mark. Okay, so 6 plus. Let me see. Oh, I think it's another 9. Yeah, 9, 11, and then 10. So 21 damage for that last one.
Wow. Okay. It's not looking good at all.
Nice.
But it's their turn. And so 5 of them get attacks. And who's still in the boat and who's on the island?
I mean, I definitely would have made my way onto the island.
I'm on the island right now.
Snacks?
Same.
You muted.
Island, sorry.
Yes, island.
The 4 of you are on the island. Stay with the group. I'll say the goblins are on the island too. So, all right. So Leaf, the other one comes upon One comes upon you and takes a tries to bite you. Misses you and then tries to claw you. Actually, hold on. Nope, just tried to bite you. Okay. They only have one attack. The next one goes for Snacks, tries to claw you and claws you for 17. Gets a 23 to hit.
Oh, I thought we were at damage there already.
No, sorry. So
I think you're about to be.
Snacks, 23.
Yes.
That hits, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Boy, howdy.
You take 10 slashing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, son of a.
Sure. Sounds great. I would like to use one of those fate points.
For the record, in second edition, creatures were way worse.
I mean, fight's not over, so
it's true.
There's time for it to be worse now.
A 12.
You're okay. 12 is okay.
Okay, the first one was a 9, so the fate point was worth it.
It was worth it. A 9 would not have made it. A 12 is okay.
Okay, and that was 10 points of damage?
You got 10 points of slashing damage. Yes.
Okay, does anything else happen?
Nothing else happens.
All right. Thank you for that fate point. Oh, hiya.
From that one. Another one tries to bite you and totally misses. There's 2 left. One, unfortunately, takes a huge slash at Plurk at Plurk, and
no, not Plurk.
Plurk
No,
goes down.
Plurk, no.
Our sweet baby boy.
Down. And then the very last one takes a swipe at you, Thanato, and gets a natural 20. So.
Oh, geez.
Oh, what's it? You know what? Oh, no, it didn't. I've foreseen this moment. It got a 2.
Thank you, Rogan, for the fate.
Thank you for the fate.
Thank you, Rogan.
So you use your portent for it to get a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Then you are safe. And those were the 5 attacks. And it is now Plurk is down, but
F for Plurk,
Sturk
everybody.
and Esmeralda remain, and they
I will save Plurk. Don't worry about it.
Fire their bows off, Esmeralda's arrow actually takes down the one that Grath was attacking, and boom, another one goes down. So there's 4
Really nice.
left.
That's a goblin who just got a raise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's now Hobby's turn.
Okay. I will cast my Eldritch Blast twice. Those times. So the first one is a 12. Does that hit?
12 misses.
Okay. Second one.
Oh, we do have one more fate point.
Second one was a 21.
21 definitely hits.
All right. Should I use that fate point for my first attack? What do y'all think?
How many do we have?
We have one.
Just one.
We have one.
That we have just kindly been given.
Freshly gotten.
We don't have a lot of time left, so
Freshly
sure.
given, freshly used.
All right.
Do it.
I just rolled damage for that second one was 8.
Okay.
So I will use the fate point for that to re-roll that first attack.
Yes.
And that was 24 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And the damage on that is
Get it.
8. Now I'm getting 8s when I want 8s. 8s are good. Okay.
Okay.
That's my turn.
So Snacks, there are 4 standing. One is wounded, and 3 are not. And you could reach any of them. So you tell me what you would like to do.
Is the one that slashed me still up?
Yes.
Excellent. I have that action movie moment where I got slashed And then I like slowly look back up and wipe my mouth.
Style.
And as the as my pupils start dilating and the froth starts coming up, I'm like, you made me bleed my own blood. No one makes me bleed my own blood except for my friends. And she takes out the hacker and she swings.
All right.
And I am very happy for Patactics because that was awful. Good, 17.
That will hit.
Excellent. First swipey do is a 10.
For damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's still up?
Mm-hmm. The one that
All
swiped at you is as of now, up until now was not damaged, but now is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna sweep on him again. That's a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Which goes for another 10 points of damage.
Yes. Oh, that's right. You guys do still have my thing going. The 10 minutes for the.
I don't have that though.
You don't have it. Yeah. Just as a reminder to the other.
Yeah. Who does have it?
Everyone but me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Pretty
Good
much.
to know.
That's
so you all
3
have
out
a
of-
bless except for Snacks. So you
Mhm.
can add D4 to
Right.
your rolls, correct?
Yeah, Snacks, you can go after yourself.
So yeah, I just do like the up and the down, and as I hit it again on the side down, I take my shield and I try to sweep the leg
Okay, great.
to not get prone.
And that is a
Athletics versus athletics is what we've been doing.
yep. What'd you get?
9.
You do not successfully sweep the leg. It somehow, in its crazy undead, all of a sudden, like, I don't know, maybe this specific undead was a martial artist in a former life, does a crazy leap over your shield and successfully lands. And
He pulled a crane kick, jumped over it with a crane kick. We're not done, LaRusso. But yeah, that is my turn. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. It is now Thanato's turn.
You know, this is the first time I've actually had to do this, and I've literally been able to do it since level 1. I'm gonna range Spare the Dying on Plurk.
Nice.
And then I just say, be gone, and turn undead. They got to give me wisdom 14 or leave.
What? Leave?
Yeah, exactly. Or they're gonna get the leaf.
They're gonna get the leaf.
Exactly.
Forget the leaf.
They mess with the honk, they get the bonk. Yeah, wisdom 14, or they have to flee for a minute.
Go visit underwater person.
Mm-hmm. 14's not super high, but it's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
It's not high.
It's not. It's true. Statistically speaking, it's over 50%.
That's good, yeah. Because they need to get... So 3 out of the 4 turn around.
Did you make sure to do your bless?
No, it's not an attack, it's a save. So it's yeah. And they thankfully don't have it. When 3 of them run, I just turn and I look at the 4th one and I just say, it won't be long now. And I move towards Plurk.
Good to have you back.
Just just to stand over Plurk, because he's stable. Like he's still unconscious. So I'm kind of like, if you want to get to him, you're gonna go through me. And then that's it for my turn.
The 3 of the 4 are making their way back into the water, going towards the edges of the cavern.
Yeah, unless damaged, they have to spend the next minute doing everything they can to get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what are the attack of opportunity rules on that?
Well, if anybody hits them, it'll break it. So don't.
Okay, so they don't
You
want
know
to.
what I mean? Like, let them go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I imagine they're like, you know, which is not what we want. Yeah. So
Leaf, there's only one left.
Here comes Leaf.
What
He
you
leaps
gonna
up
do?
there and he hasn't stopped his momentum from the last kill. So as soon as the bow staff comes down, he basically uses the momentum to push, kind of like, stabbing the quarterstaff down into its broken sternum, and uses that as a vault to leap over to the next one and bring the top of the quarterstaff down and start engaging in that one and spin attacks. I'll hit this guy. I'll go for the first attack. Is an 18 plus 7, 25 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And the second attack is a 4, so an 11, so that's going to miss.
Yeah, that'll miss.
But then I'm going to flurry of blows.
Okay.
I'm going to flurry blows this guy, and that next attack is going to be a 17, so I know that hits.
That'll hit.
And then the last one, I'll have to get your call, and that's a 14.
That will also hit.
Okay, so I hit him 3 times.
3 times.
Did you bless yourself? Your blessed thing, is it on you?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me double check.
You can bless up to 3 creatures of your choice.
Yeah, so then
your choice.
it's not me.
Right.
All right, so then first attack, this is with the quarterstaff. It does 10 points of damage.
All right.
And then the 2 flurry of blow attacks do an additional 5 plus 9 more.
Okay. It's not looking great, but it's still up and bam, bam. Its tongue is wagging everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good.
So Grath, from your vantage point in the boat, you see that 3 are retreating, and that 1 is engaging with Leaf. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to shift Hunter's Mark to the one fighting Leaf, and let's see. 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Awesome, sweet. Also, no sharpshooter this time.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, you would need to declare it before you roll. Don't forget.
Yeah. Okay.
But you do have the blessed thing.
Right.
Oh, and then that's to attack rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But 17 hits, so you don't need to add it.
Oh, okay. So I didn't need it. All right. So first, let's fly 1 arrow. And with Hunter's Mark, we're gonna add 5 to 6. So 11 damage for the first one.
Okay.
Is it still standing?
It is still standing. Yes.
Ugh.
It's actually even singing "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John.
Did
Visibly
we just do that
disturbed
at the
by
same
this.
time?
Yeah, I think we did.
Legally
Did you?
distinct. Legally
Said that
distinct.
too. Legally
Yeah.
distinct.
Jason.
That's why we're friends.
I am going to. Can I declare Colossus Slayer?
It is not a colossus, so no.
Oh, duh. I
It's
knew that.
human-sized.
Okay, just kidding. Oh, hell yes. Okay, well, 22 to hit, obviously. Obviously. Yeah, so visibly disturbed by its attempt at singing, Grath aims once more towards this thing and lets loose another arrow for 9 damage.
It takes it goes right into its gaping maw with the wagging tongue, and the tongue wags no longer as the ghast falls over back into its inky, watery grave. And you are now out of combat. And Thanato, you will note that the 3 that fleed are no longer in your range of detection. So wherever they went, even though it looks like you're in a dead end cave, it looks like they went somewhere, maybe under, maybe below.
I just look at all of them and I say, we should move. I don't know how soon they'll be back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Snacks just starts picking up all the gems.
Grath.
Yeah, I'd like to just.
I join as well, grabbing gems, but also trying to dig around with one of the oars, just shoveling, trying to find something. And
Okay.
And I'd like to just cast my detect magic now that I'm on the island.
Now that you're on the island and you detect magic, you you just detect the illusion that started. That was that voice that was coming out. You realize that was a magic mouth spell.
Mm-hmm.
That was automatically triggered if someone were to step on the island.
Ah.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh, so it was just a trap.
Mm-hmm. And it's now 4:00, so
Oh,
we're gonna end our adventure for today.
Okay.
It's a trap.
Want to say thank you to a few people. Rogan27, thank you for the bits.
Rogan.
Lord
Thank you, Rogan.
Portico,
Thank
Stabigail the Kobold, Claudia Ramen, Anna Sola, Little Monkey, the Real Bunny Beast, Eric Jackson.
Wait, the real Bunny Beast?
Eric Jackson also gifted 5 subs, and Sola subbed, and I know Nathaniel VA also subbed because I saw that with Prime. So thank you guys so much. And then Vivka has something that she wants to read.
I do. Oh gosh, I wasn't prepared. So
Wait, I thought you were prepared, right?
Don't call me out. So I made a trip to my PO box, which I never go to because it's always empty. And so imagine my surprise when it was not. I received a parchment, and it said, it's this really lovely message. I hope you don't mind if I actually read it. This is Vivka. As I knitted the Scale Dragon egg dice bag for my new kobold character, I watched a lot of Gaxx Pack. Your portrayal of Snacks helped inspire a lot of how I would come to develop and play my own character. I'm already smiling so hard my cheeks hurt. As such, I felt a decent thank you would be to make you your own Snacks-inspired kobold egg dice bag. Since it's considered bad luck to give an empty purse or wallet as a gift, a dice bag is a bit like a purse for dice. After all, I picked a D20 that I thought Snacks herself might like. What kobold doesn't like skulls? Thank you for your inspiration, and may you always roll high. And that's from Maggie by Numbers. And
who is Stabigail?
Yeah, it's Stabigail.
Oh, well, that's really
Look
cool.
at how incredible this is.
Wow.
Like little,
where's the skull die?
So, and also like my mom taught me that same thing, that you're not allowed to give a purse that's empty. So like my family upbringing is always like whenever you give a purse, you put a penny in it. So this,
that's some OG old world stuff. That's from the old country.
Oh yeah, I have definitely considered that my mom is possibly Fae, but I don't think you can really see it, but it is a dice with a tiny little skull inside, which is just like the coolest ever.
That is awesome.
And,
apropos.
Yeah, this is one of the most incredible things ever, and I can't even imagine how much time it took to knit this. I mean, it's beefy, like it's a mitt. But I absolutely love it, and I was already saying that my heart filled with joy every time I read Stabigail the kobold, because I think that's the most genius name I have ever heard. So through and through, I love it so much. This is so incredible. Thank you. I love it.
Awesome.
That's so awesome.
That is really, really good. Like, well,
also, hi, I'm Vivid Vivka. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok under the same username, Vivid Vivka, not Vivica. I make a lot of skits and everything as Snacks. So I upload those to TikTok and I say random stuff on Twitter. I mostly hang out on those. Come hang out with me. Yeah. Woohoo.
Awesome. Yeah, really quick, let's give our sign-offs to everybody. B-Dave, I'm just looking at people in my window.
At B Dave Walters, I say words about things. You can find me all over the Tweetagrams at B Dave Walters, now creative director at Demiplane, among all the other things I do. So follow me for more.
Nice. Eliza Pearl.
Yes, hi, I'm Elisa Pearl. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Elisa Pearl, ALIZA. And I stream over at Ripley Improv and also my own channel, Appease Eliza. I'll be back there in a few weeks when I'm back home. And you can also find me running D&D 5e with for Lords of Faerun Saturdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Kira858.
Nice. Adriana.
Hello. Hi. My name is Adriana Cazador, but you can find me online as Adriosa or Adriosa Gaming on Twitter, Instagram. My Twitch channel is Adriosa, Adriosa, and I play mostly video games on my channel every Sunday and Wednesday, sometimes Friday. But yeah, you can find me on awesome shows like the Gaxx Pack on Twitch, other Twitch channels. But yeah, thank you for watching.
Eric.
Hi, my name is Eric Campbell. You can find me at 16-bit Eric. I say words about B. Dave Walters. And you can also catch me Monday nights on Q Times running Star Trek Adventures with the Stream Punks at 6:30 p.m. I am happy to announce premiere announcement that we have one internet sensation, Amy Dallin, returning for a guest spot this Monday nights. We'll be reuniting for the very first time since Shield of Tomorrow on a Star Trek show. So I'm super excited about that. So make sure to tune into then.
Wow, which is great because that's who we're gonna raid.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah.
And I've been your Dungeon Master. I'm Jason Charles Miller. I'm here on Twitch. You can find me right there and follow me. And I'm all over the internet because that's the only safe place to be right now. So please, everybody, stay safe, okay? And huge thank you to our sponsors, Warriors of Waterdeep, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Norse Foundry Dice, and Dwarven Forge. And of course, Gary Kahn, who is making all of this show possible, and you guys for making all this possible. Thank you guys so much. We're going to raid Amy Dallin right now, and we'll be back next Sunday.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.